Gilman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
The next chain gang meet Nick Franklin, Bill Hicks, Chuck Panera, and Mark Rossi. This evening's Franciscan sports medicine trainers,
stay right there.
Patrick
I'm
Miller
Charlie. I'm
and
gonna
David Chester.
move it just so you're good.
Okay.
Try our easy-to-use Shop by Payment tool.
Yeah,
You set what you want to spend,
I really want to focus on the game.
and our True Payments engine will find the best matches across our entire inventory. You can even add your trade-in. You'll get customized financing for every vehicle matching your budget. You'll be amazed at what you can buy. There is no impact on your credit and no obligation to buy. Shop by Payment.
Oh, there's Roncalli's hat. Here we go.
Maybe the. Thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
What's up?
I said, you think you can probably see? Because I might switch it up to like zoom in and use from here, you know.
Yeah. What do you want me to do?
You can just.
Move this stuff?
Yeah.
It's Friday night and time for Indiana High School football on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. This game is built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at universalrfg.com. And brought to you in part by Genesis Sports Performance. Visit Genesis at genesissportsperformance.com. And by Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue. And by High Gear Marketing at highgearmktg.com. Now, let's go to the field for Indiana High School football live on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
From St. Vincent Health Field, tonight the Brebeuf Jesuit Braves host the Roncalli Royals in a Circle City Conference battle. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Walensky along with John Faust. Tonight's Brebeuf-Roncalli matchup pits two of the best Class 4A teams as Roncalli sits undefeated at 5-0 and Brebeuf Jesuit is riding a three-game win streak. Can Brebeuf derail the visiting Royals tonight? We'll be back after these messages to look at this matchup. You're watching high school football on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Welcome back to the home of the Braves here at St. Vincent Health Field. I'm Mike Walensky along with John Faust, and tonight Eric Quintana, the former offensive coordinator at Bishop Chatard, in his first year at the helm has guided the Royals of Roncalli to a perfect 5-0 record, John. Luke Hansen leads the state in rushing for the Royals, and he's got a big line in front of him, including Iowa recruit Trevor Lauk. You'll see him number 59. John, tell us about this Royal group and how they've accomplished this 5-0 mark.
Yeah, Mike. So the big focal point has definitely been Luke Hansen, just like how you mentioned. A huge runner for Roncalli, a very dominant rush game. He had 335 yards against Southport and averages 13 yards per carry, which is very impressive. Also had 5 touchdowns in a game against Southport, so very strong run there. And just like you said with that offensive line, including Iowa recruit Trevor Lauk, that's a very great offensive line to be able to push that defensive line and create some openings for Luke Hansen. So it's going to be tough for Brebeuf tonight, but they're going to have to really look at stopping that rush if they're going to get a hold of Roncalli tonight.
John Mangeski's Braves are 3-1 this year. 3 consecutive wins after losing the opener at Lucas Oil Stadium to the Chatard Trojans. Last week, Brebeuf steamrolled Culver Military Academy, and sophomore quarterback Maverick Geske for the Braves was simply magnificent in leading the charge. What do you see in terms of the Brebeuf Braves coming into tonight's ball game with the Roncalli Royals?
Yeah, so Brebeuf has done a really good job defensively, being able to hold all of their opponents to at least, their last 3 opponents to 13 points. In their last 3 games, they've held their opponents to 8, 7, and 13 ever since losing to Bishop Chatard 24-13. So they've really turned their program around after that first loss and have used that to fuel their season moving forward. And coming off of a 3-win streak, this is going to be the true test tonight against Eric Quintana and his 5-0 Royals.
And, John, when you look at Roncalli, this is a football team that has scored a lot of touchdowns on short fields. They do have one long drive this year for 95 yards. The downside might be for Roncalli coming into tonight's game is the fact that they've got a lot of players playing both ways. And if Brebeuf can make it physical, hang into the ball game, make it a 4-quarter game, being at home, this could be a night that Brebeuf will never forget.
Absolutely. Like I said, this is a very tough matchup, Mike. A 5-0 Royal squad with very dominant offense on both rushing and passing. And with Brebeuf being able to turn around after these 3 big wins, I think they're ready for this Roncalli team here at home.
Well, John, if Roncalli wins tonight's game, they will secure a share of the Circle City Conference Championship. When we return, this ball game features Brebeuf and Roncalli. You'll catch it here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Try our easy-to-use Shop by Payment tool. You set what you want to spend, and our True Payments engine will find the best matches across our entire inventory. You can even add your trade-in. You'll get customized financing for every vehicle matching your budget. You'll be amazed at what you can buy. There is no impact on your credit and no obligation.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Tonight's game is built by Universal Roofing Exteriors. Visit them at universalrfg.com or call 317-257-0779. And tonight's game is brought to you by Genesis Sports Performance. Training Indianapolis area grade and high school athletes and adult strength training. Visit genesissportsperformance.com. I'm Mike Walensky along with John Faust from St. Vincent Health Field. Tonight, John, undefeated Roncalli 5-0, Brebeuf 3-1, and field position could play a factor. Quinn Warren, this year, the kicker for the Brebeuf Braves, has had 10 touchbacks this year out of 20 attempts. He'll be a real key factor because he also does the punting.
Absolutely. That eliminates the special teams for the other side not be able to get any extra yards off of those kick returns. So we see that a lot in the professionals, right? They always aim for those touchbacks because they want to limit opportunities. So to be able to have a weapon like that helps your special teams on both sides of the ball.
On the flip side, Levi Whistler for Roncalli does the punting and the kicking. His numbers aren't quite as good as Quinn Warren. It's a game of field position when you get two teams as competitive as these two teams are, these two rivals.
Absolutely, and we saw what happens when you kind of have a bit of a weaker side of the special teams in that Beech Grove game, Mike. We saw some short punts of about 20, 30 yards, giving the opposition better field position to where it creates a lot of opportunities for the other side. So that's going to be a big factor in tonight's game after these fourth downs aren't being able to be converted.
John, Matt Geske in his third year at the helm of Brebeuf. He's 20-9 overall. Eric Quintana, as we mentioned, in his rookie season as a head football coach at Roncalli. The thing that drives these two guys together is both are offensive people. Matt Geske was a quarterback in Portland, Oregon. Eric Quintana, an offensive lineman from Plymouth, Indiana. And later on, Eric excelled collegiately at UIndy, as Matt Geske excelled at South Oregon. One thing to note, Matt Geske in 2015 nominated the Portland Interscholastic League Hall of Fame. Who else was nominated then in 2014? None other than Phil Knight. One of the most powerful people in all of sports, Phil Knight, the founder of Nike. Also, by the way, from the Portland Interscholastic League Hall of Fame are guys that you're probably familiar with if you followed the NBA. AC Green owns most regular season games ever by an NBA player with 1,192, and Damon Stoudemire, in 2000, graduated out of Portland, played his collegiate basketball at Arizona. And one last guy to note from that Portland Intercollegiate League Hall of Fame is a guy named Dale Murphy. He has yet to be nominated, or for that matter, inducted in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. One of the great Atlanta Braves baseball players from the same hometown as Matt Geske in Portland, and Matt certainly would like to have the opportunity to win tonight's game with Whistler kicking off to let this one go. Roncalli, Brebeuf. We're underway in a second. Levi Whistler will kick off. Jack Myers, one of the return guys, along with Devin McElwain deep for Brebeuf as we start this football game. Roncalli ranked number 2 by Sagarin in Class 4A. New Pal ranked number 1. Brebeuf number 5 in Sagarin. This is Devin McElwain with a nice block on the far side of the field and finally dropped down by Roncalli on coverage. J.J. Prendergast, a 6'2", 297-pound junior. That is his 19th stop of the year for Coach Quintana.
And that was a good run there. We saw him kind of kick on the afterburners there in the beginning. All he was looking for was that opening, and he definitely had the speed to get ahead. But unfortunate, good stop there by Roncalli to prevent any extra yardage.
Maverick Geske will start at quarterback tonight, the sophomore for Brebeuf. He's thrown 46 times, 19 receptions for 345 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and the move to Maverick Geske has given more stability and more athleticism as Nolan Buckman, number 11, who started the season at quarterback, has moved into a slot position, and he has about 9 receptions this year. So having Buckman in the lineup, that's a real plus for Coach Geske.
Absolutely, and I also want to point out, Mike, that we have Trevor Lauk there as a defensive tackle for Roncalli, who's a big star on the offensive line side. So let's see what he can do on the defensive side tonight and bring some extra pressure.
Also, John, to look at Roncalli's defense, the guy that you also need to handle up front is number 99, Luke Swartz. Luke Swartz his hands are phenomenal. He has 2 sacks this season, but he also controls the middle of the field. The interesting thing about Coach Quintana and their defense is the fact that Trevor Lauk, they move him around, and they also move Luke Swartz around. You never know where these guys are coming. Geske out of the backfield. The toss to Buckman. He gets positive yardage on the left side.
That was a nice quick little slant pass there to get some nice yardage. Very quick, was just able to get out there and almost get the first down, just short.
Field position will be very important. And so far, the field position, it's 2nd down and 5 yards to go after a 5-yard gain. There was a penalty on the play. The give to Jack Myers off the right side. You can see how stout that Roncalli defense was. I think that was Luke Swartz, again, number 99, who plays that defensive tackle or nose guard, play a 3-man front, made the stop.
Yeah, and they were ready for that one, Mike. The offensive line tried to get that push, but the defensive tackles were there and definitely stopped that there.
3rd and 4, the ball on the 12. Geske out of the shotgun, looks for the tight end. He has him, and the cut is made by Jaron Bowling. That's his 4th catch of the season. He came in this ball game, 3 catches for 13 yards. That is a brave first down.
It is, and another quick pass there. So far we're seeing Brebeuf start this drive with some quick passes, the small yardage, trying to create some openings.
6-yard gain. And the stick is made on the near side as Geske gets the ball out of his hands. The receiver, I think that may have been Clark. Not quite sure. Nope, that was Buckman. And Roncalli came up and made a tackle very quickly. I believe it was number 4, Judson Lowry, the 5'11 senior.
They're coming out with the no huddle here, Mike, and another quick pass, quick slant. Brebeuf starting out with very quick throws, just trying to get a little bit of yardage, trying to find some openings for some long runs, but we're seeing some no huddle offense here and some quick passes to start this drive.
And that was Nolan Buckman again. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and long now. 3rd and 12 from the 16-yard line. Roncalli with 4 guys at the line of scrimmage. Myers, screen out of the backfield, gets positive yardage but short of the first down marker. And defensively coming up and making the play was Andrew Baugh, one of the leading tacklers, a senior already with 3 interceptions for Coach Quintana's Royals. It'll be 4th down for Brebeuf, and in comes Quinn Warren to punt.
And that was a great tackle there by Roncalli. Brebeuf kicking on the afterburners, found an opening, and if had that tackle not been made, Brebeuf would have had some great field position.
Andrew Baugh will be the punt returner for Roncalli, standing at his 40. He already this year has 108 yards in punt returns. Good kick by Warren. Baugh driven down. Great defensive play there by Merrick Macaluso. Macaluso driving him down at the Royals 43 after just a 4-yard return.
And that kick almost went over his head. He had to realign himself. Maybe was a little surprised how far that actually had traveled. But a nice catch by Roncalli and was able to get a little extra yardage, but a great tackle by Brebeuf to stop that extra yardage from happening.
Defensively up front for the Braves, Connor Zhang, the nose tackle, Finn Walters, a right defensive end, and Logan Petrie on the left side. That'll be very key for them to grind and fight those big offensive linemen throughout the course of this game. This is Luke Hansen. Hansen is hit right in the hole by Cole Williams. Williams, along with Macaluso. Williams, one of the outstanding football players, had a great game last week against CMA. Cole Williams, a senior, 6'2", 212.
Not much Hansen could do there, but it's going to be a long game, Mike, and we're going to see plenty of opportunities come from Hansen. But a great stop by Brebeuf.
And the senior quarterback, Eric Moyers, leading the Roncalli Royals. This is his first season starting, but he's finally coming his own. Last week in a 49-13 whitewash over Guerin, he was 11 out of 14. This is Hansen off the right side, and a good solid play defensively. The ball may have gone off the ground, and it didn't. He held on the football, thought for a minute there was a fumble, and the tackle once again was made by Cole Williams. He is all over the field early on this ball game. Third down.
Yeah, and we're talking about Eric Moyers here, and honestly hasn't thrown too much. Has had the most yards he's had so far this season is 133, so maybe we'll see a little more of the passing game tonight depending on how this rushing game goes.
Moyers, a senior, 37 out of 73 on the year, 396 yards, 4 touchdowns and interception. Once again, Roncalli has had a lot of short fields, a lot of touchdowns this year. They've got a lot of confidence. Low snap. Moyers under pressure, and he's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That's Connor Zhang. Zhang, number 50, one of the outstanding defensive linemen for Coach Geske, coming up with a big play, and you got to have senior leadership, and there it was.
Absolutely. Great stop there by Brebeuf, and some aggression out here in this opening. Great job by Brebeuf to limit the opportunities here for Roncalli. Let's see if they can keep this momentum throughout the game.
5-yard loss in the play. Levi Whistler comes in the ball game to do the punting.
And Conway Zhang, like you said, a big player, 6'1", 278 pounds. That's a tough player to stop, and you can see that Roncalli's really having to adapt to try and get past him.
John Savume, 2 punt returns for 82 yards this year, waiting for this one, and this will bounce. And the ball is finally down there by Bryce Hillen, the 6-foot senior, and it'll be first down for the Braves, and their defense came to battle. Good job up front. However, there was some center quarterback poor exchange here that caused some problems for the Royals.
Absolutely. Getting no yardage, a 3-and-out to start their opening drive. Not ideal for head coach Eric Quintana, but we know that they will adapt and come back later in this game. But great start by Brebeuf to limit those opportunities.
Connor McNeely checks in the game defensively, number 61, along with Luke Swartz. Now they moved Swartz to the left side. McNeely also plays offense. He's 5'11", about 300 pounds, plays at the nose position. The quarterback is Maverick Geske to start this one off. 1st and 10 with 7:31 to go. The ball on the 29. Jack Myers gets positive yardage.
Nice little handoff up the middle there, and like you said, some positive yardage. That was a good run by Brebeuf. Just got to go in small spurts here, and that's their offense so far, is just some short yardage gains.
Ben Brandenburg was one of the tacklers. Ben Brandenburg has had an outstanding season, 25 stops this year for Coach Quintana's ball club after a gain of 3. Geske looking. The pass is incomplete as it intercepted.
It might have been intercepted. He had dropped the ball, and the defender came in. It looks like they're going to call that off. Might have had the ground to assist him, but right as he caught that, he turned his body to prevent that.
Joey Uberta, the linebacker, was the guy that gets the interception. As you mentioned, Jen, the ball was batted around, and it was very difficult to determine whether it hit the ground.
Yep.
But the officials are saying white football. The visitors, the Royals, take over. Big turnover. First down for Roncalli here in the first period. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line.
And that was a great job. Like I said, he caught the ball as it was falling down and torqued his body to where his back was going to land first to secure that football. Just wasn't sure if he had used the ground to assist with that interception, but a great awareness and great hand-eye coordination to be able to make that play.
Luke Scarvelt will be the center here. In addition to Lauk being a Division I prospect, Scarvelt, 70, the center, and the left guard, New, 79, are headed to Mid-American Conference schools. Brady New, Northern Illinois. Scarvelt, Central Michigan. This is Luke Hansen, one of the leading runners in the state of Indiana, and he's hit again by Cole Williams, the linebacker, and that'll be maybe a yard.
Watching Luke Hansen run is a thing of beauty. To be able to, the quick movements that he's able to do just makes it look so easy. Threw off 2 Brebeuf defenders on that run. Great job there by Hansen.
Luke Hansen, the senior, 158 carries, leads the state. 1,319 yards, 8.3 average with 16 touchdowns in just 5 games. 2nd and 7 from the 28. Actually, a 3-yard gain. This is Hansen again, right over the center. Got nice space, good vision, and he's into the second level. And again, Cole Williams makes a stop, and this will be awfully close.
Great vision and some great cuts there. Very quick cuts. Throws off that defense, and they're not sure which way he's going to go. And like you were saying, Mike, Luke Hansen, had a big game against Southport, 335 yards and 5 touchdowns. We'll see what he does tonight.
3rd down and 1 for the Royals as they head towards the red zone. Moyer's out of the shotgun. Hansen carries the football about 90% of the time. This is Moyers. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage by Finn Walters. Walters got through a block, and he came through and made the tackle for a loss. Finn Walters comes up with a big stop for Brebeuf.
Yeah, and Roncalli trying to get away there, had his defender on him, was trying to get his leg free, but Walters was not going to let go. Good stop there by Brebeuf.
4th and 5 from the 25, and Coach Quintana is going for the first down, or at least seems to do that. Maybe they're trying to draw this Brebeuf defense offside. Moyers joined in the backfield by Hansen. As I mentioned, Hansen has carried the football at about 90% of the time. This is Luke. He gets down. I don't think he made it. Good job of getting the pads low. I think Cole Williams was the guy that met him in the hole. I think the Braves are going to take the football over. Excellent job by the Brebeuf defense, and the Braves take over.
Great stop by Brebeuf there, really limiting this offense from doing anything here for Roncalli. So now Brebeuf will take it the other way, and we'll see what they can do on the offensive side, Mike.
3-yard gain for Hansen short of the first down. It'll be first down and 10 for the Braves. Early on in this first series, you saw Maverick Geske tossing the football. The Braves only running the ball maybe one time. Maverick Geske, the sophomore, at the helm. The snap. The catch by Buckman, and he doesn't get much. Luke Swartz, again, does a great job getting off the football, number 99. As big as he is, he's got good movement. Luke is 6'2", 282 pounds, a senior. That's a loss of 2.
It is. Brebeuf continues to try these shorter plays to try and find these openings, but at some point they're going to have to make a few risks and make some bigger throws to try and make this way downfield.
Nathan Turner, the sophomore at left defensive tackle. Maverick looking down the middle of the field for Savume, and this one is overthrown. Excellent coverage there. Andrew Baugh was the safety there covering John Savume, who's got a couple touchdown passes, got excellent speed on the outside.
And we knew that was coming eventually. They had to make a big throw it downfield, and let the receivers do their work. But Roncalli was ready for that and had 3 men back deep ready for that pass. Good try by Brebeuf, but Roncalli was ready for it.
3rd down and long for the Braves here in the first period of play with 4:16 to go. Out of the shotgun. Geske looks out of the backfield. It's caught by Jaden Omer, and Jaden Omer goes down the sideline and gets some positive yardage, but he's run out of bounds by one of the defenders for Roncalli. Omer, an outstanding running back, the young man out of Mooresville, Indiana. We talked last week about Mooresville's head football coach, Mike Gillen, in his 40th year, one of the outstanding football coaches in high school football. His son, Casey, now is the head football coach at Indian Creek. And if you're familiar with the Ball State Cardinals, his son Casey was also quarterback for the Ball State Cardinals as Quinn Warren goes back to punt. Again, Andrew Baugh deep.
We got a flag on the play
for Roncalli. As John mentioned, the flag at the 32 gets by Macaluso. Another flag.
3 flags. Yeah, that was definitely a face mask there towards the end of the play, Mike, but not sure what had happened there in the beginning. There was an offsides, false start. But we should see these penalties probably offset.
Officials trying to sort this one out in this ball game. Again, field position is very critical. And in regards to that, you got to have good special teams. And we've seen Quinn Warren. He's played very well so far. Nice couple punts out there. And You got to have that to win football games.
Absolutely, and it looks like Quinn Warren is staying out there, so Brebeuf might have to re-kick and possibly going on them. We've got a false start.
Offsetting penalty, so that's a plus for Brebeuf.
So Brebeuf
You think it's a plus, but you just never know. As Roncalli, 17, Andrew Baugh, pretty good punt return specialist for Coach Quintana's ball club, standing at his own 39. The Sagarin ratings has Brebeuf listed at 5 in Class 4A. They are number 24 overall. That is a huge step, and another big step would have a chance to win this football game. But if they don't, Roncalli wins this. They've got a share of the Circle City Conference title.
And it's amazing, Quinn Warren, how far he is able to kick and how Roncalli has to line up 50, 60 yards out in anticipation for this kick. Like you said, Mike, a valuable asset to your team to be able to have a punter who can make plays like that.
The football, the late fair catch by Baugh at the 38-yard line. It'll be first down for Eric Moyers. And the Royals offense at that point in a scoreless ball game. Outstanding defense by both clubs early on in this contest.
Outstanding defense. It's been sort of a stalemate right now. We see Roncalli taking the ball from here. They had their interception over at the 20-yard line but wasn't able to convert on it.
Hanson on a quick hitter off the right side, and there's Finn Walters closing the gap. Had some help from one of his teammates up front. I believe that was Connor Zhang, defensive tackle. And Luke Hanson did not get much yardage there, maybe a couple. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, Mike, if they've been watching a lot of Luke Hanson footage because they've been able to stop him so far, have limited him to some very short runs, but eventually this defense is going to tire out, and we'll see what happens.
That's Hanson again getting through the hole near the first down marker. Logan Petrie, 74, got his hand on the ball carrier. See how strong he is. Goes right through that gap there. Got a block from Jackson McNeely. Talked about McNeely, number 60, 6'4", 283, a senior. And that'll be 3rd and short.
Some great power there by Luke Hanson, 6 foot, 205 pounds. Broke right through that tackle and got himself about 4 or 5 extra yards. Just short of that first down, but I have a hunch on what they're going to do here, Mike.
Out of the shotgun, Moyers, Hanson, flag on the play. There may have been movement on the Royals' offensive line. Our game tonight is being brought to you by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit them at universal.com or call 317-257-0779. And by Genesis Sports Performance Training. They train in Indianapolis area grade and high school athletes and adult strength training. Visit genesissportsperformance.com.
Looks like there was a false start on that play, Mike, so that will bring Roncalli back. What could have been a first down, now they're going to have to try and go about 6 yards.
Yeah, 3rd and 6. Running out of the shotgun. Moyers has gotten better each week throwing the football. The motion man is Tunney, number 10. The give to Hanson off the left side. He's got the first down and more. The tackle is made by number 5 for Brebeuf. From the backside, Leroy Lewis came up and made the stop. That's not a good sign when the guys in the back make the tackle.
Big truck by Hanson there, and just a lot of momentum to where right when he makes contact with the defender, he gets that extra yardage, a very valuable asset for this Roncalli team.
Roncalli in Brebeuf territory. Hanson off the left side. That's plenty of space there, and he's finally taken down by number 52 for Brebeuf.
And
that's
Roncalli
Charlie Kersey.
And Roncalli's just going to keep hammering this ball up the middle, Mike. As we knew, with Luke Hanson averaging almost 13 yards a carry, you almost have to. And
Noah Bogle and Jaden Curtis checking the lineup defensively for the Braves. You need to keep fresh legs up front, and they need to keep battling those big offensive linemen who are creating some space as they set down another defensive lineman to have more gold helmets on the football. This is Hanson. Finn Walters got turned inside, unfortunately. And Brebeuf comes up and makes a tackle. That's Javon Brooks, number 26. But Finn Walters, the defensive end, did not contain the edge. That was a nice block by Trevor Lauk there on the left side for the Roncalli Royals. That's a first down for Roncalli.
Yeah, some great blocking there. And Hansen was able to find some open field there, but just wasn't able to get past the defender. But some great yardage there.
Eric Moore is working out of the shotgun, and he's working against a defense that has more guys in the box. So look for Roncalli, if they could, to throw the ball. But they're going to run. They're going to say, hey, we got bigger guys up front. They tried to get over the right side. He's got positive yardage.
I was a little surprised by that, Mike. He could have kept running on that right outside and had a lot more space. He just kind of tried to cut in through the middle there after getting past that right guard, but maybe should have kept going out right towards the sidelines and could have had some extra yardage.
Jaden Curtis made the stop. He's a 5'9", 260-pounder for the Brebeuf Jesuit Braves after a couple-yard gain for Roncalli. Now Roncalli's one of their offensive linemen is checking out of the game. I'm not quite sure why. Number 63, I think that's a center, Luke Scarvelt. And now 60 checks in the game for him, Jackson McNeely. So timeout is called to get things organized. Roncalli gets the timeout, and that's a good timeout for Eric Quintana with just 50 seconds left here in the first period.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business.
Both teams haven't been able to do much. It's been outstanding defense, but now we're starting to see a little bit of momentum here with Roncalli in their running game, being able to get this ball downfield a little bit. Let's see if they can keep that momentum going. They got about 30 yards to go before they can touch the end zone.
Our game tonight is built by Universal Roofing Exteriors. Visit them at universalrfg.com or call 317-257-0779. And by Genesis Sports Performance, training Indianapolis area grade and high school athletes in adult strength training. Visit genesissportsperformance.com. One of the things about Eric Quintana we've seen early on this ball game, they have rotated guys both on their offensive and defensive line to keep their people fresh, what they've got to do in a physical game like this.
Absolutely. Conditioning is always going to be an important factor in a football game like this, Mike. And to be able to have some fresh legs and the ability to switch players out on offense and defense is huge for Eric Quintana and his ball club.
Number 10 in the slot for Roncalli, I mentioned he's been in motion most of the ball game, is Nolan Tunney. He has 7 catches for 98 yards, but I think he can handle the ball if they give him it on a fly sweep. There he goes, in motion, almost kind of like an H-back. Moyers keeps it himself, run down by Petrie, throws, and this one is incomplete. I think Devin McElwain closed quickly enough to get his hand on the football.
And the defense bid on that play action there, and he was able to roll up to that right side. But there was one Brebeuf defender who was ready for that and followed him all the way to the sidelines. Otherwise, we might have seen a QB scramble there for some extra yardage. So good defense there by Brebeuf to prevent that from happening.
Charlie Kersey, 52, coming back in the ball game for Brebeuf as they're playing a chess match up front, getting some fresh legs on their side of the football. Third down for Roncalli. Moyers looks to the right, got his man, and he is hammered. That was a nice tackle there by Brebeuf. It looked like Christian Sweezy was the receiver. Number 16, he's got a pair of touchdowns this year.
Good throw, good catch. Brebeuf ready for that. Did not want him to get past that first down, but Roncalli, kind of a quick huddle here, trying to get something put together before Brebeuf can line up.
4th and 3 from the 25-yard line. They might want to take this out of the first quarter as the time is about to run out with 5 seconds to go in the first period. I don't think we're going to see a Royal snap here. And there it is, the end of the first quarter. Roncalli and Brebeuf all notched up. No score here from St. Vincent Health Field. You're watching high school football on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at
Back at St. Vincent Health Field, we've got ourselves a scoreless matchup here. It'll be fourth down for Roncalli upcoming with about 5 yards to go for Eric Moyers. The offensive coordinator for this ball club is David Burton. Now, David Burton is a guy that has a lot of experience from Warren Central. The run to Hanson over the center, and he's got himself a first down. Just power football. They're very confident running the football with Luke Hanson. They get themselves a first down. Not only that, but Roncalli's marching. They are in the red zone.
You got to do what works well for you, and we knew coming into this ball game that Luke Hanson was going to see a lot of touches, and now they're starting to get momentum. Now approaching the red zone, let's see what they can do with it. But I was going to mention, Mike, this game as a stalemate, now that they've switched positions on the field, maybe this will change up the mentality a little bit.
Moyers, they give the good cut by Hanson. He gets away from one tackler, and Macaluso and Charlie Kersey has to make the stop, and they're beginning to control the line of scrimmage.
Absolutely.
Which is very important in this ball game. You've got to be able to do that, and it's the offensive line who are doing the trick. And we talked about grinding and got that message from Bill Somm, the defensive line coach for Brebeuf. If they can grind in this football game, stop the Royals from scoring touchdowns, they've got a chance to come away with a victory tonight.
Yeah, and a great push by the offensive line, and Hanson very elusive here.
Hanson, good cut to the left side. He's in the end zone, touchdown. Good vision by Luke Hanson.
Incredible
That's why he's an
vision.
Outstanding running back.
Incredible vision, and even gave that hesitation there, stayed behind his center, wanted to see where that pocket was going to open up, immediately saw it was the left side, kicked on the afterburners, got himself 6.
Luke Hanson opens up the scoring in the second period. That's a 16, 17-yard run there. Levi Whistler in the ball game now for the extra point for the Royals. The holder's Andrew Baugh.
And I also want to compliment Trevor Lauk on that play as well. Did a great job blocking on that left side to open up that hole for Hanson.
Good job by Baugh bringing the snap down, and the kick is good by Levi Whistler. So we've got ourselves a 7-0 game. Tonight's game built by Universal Roofing Exteriors. Visit them at universalrfg.com or call 317-257-0779. And by Genesis Sports Performance Training. They train Indianapolis area graded high school athletes, and they do adult strength training. Call Genesis Sports Performance or visit them on the web at genesissportsperformance.com. And right there, Roncalli was able to come up with some big running plays, and credit Luke Hanson. But that offensive line, if they can continue to make holes, it's going to be a long night for Brebeuf. They got to find a way to attack that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and we talked earlier about Roncalli having the benefit of being able to switch a lot of offensive and defensive players out. Brebeuf, not so much, and we're going to see this defensive line eventually get tired. The more that you run the ball, the more that defense is going to get tired, and we're going to see that throughout this game.
Last time when Brebeuf returned a kick, there was a penalty, and it forced a long field position for the Braves. They had to start at their 12. And it was Devin McElwain who had a nice return, but it was called back. And it looks like McElwain and Myers will again be back to kick for the kick from Levi Whistler as the Royals now in the lead start the second period 7-0.
And not a position you want to be with Brebeuf. With a strong running game from Roncalli, that limits your opportunities as that kills the clock more. So Brebeuf is going to have to capitalize on every opportunity they get throughout this game.
And this game is a game of momentum. If Brebeuf can get the football back and get the football in good field position, potentially score, we can turn the game very quickly. Whistler's kick is deep, looking for Myers. Learned his lesson there. Jack takes it to 1. 20. and he's ridden down at about the 25-yard line as he carries it forward. Speed is really helpful, especially on special teams, because Jack Myers can run it.
And that was a good catch by Myers. For a moment there, I didn't think he was going to be able to catch that, as that was almost going through his hands. It was a little bit above his head, but a good secure there and able to get that yardage out to the 20, or they would have been in a worse spot.
Maverick Geske, the sophomore quarterback, leads the Braves out onto the field. First down and 10 for Brebeuf. Just over the 25-yard line at the 27. Myers, right side, got a good job of breaking through that one. But what a nice play by Roncalli to close the hole. Sam New, 6'1", 190-pound sophomore, was able to make the stop after just a couple-yard gain. It looked like for a minute there he had a big gainer.
Yep, he found that hole, was able to squeeze right through two defenders, but Roncalli was ready for him after that.
Omer checking in the ball game in the backfield, number 2. Buckman in the slot. On the near side is Leroy Lewis for Brebeuf. Back to pass Geske. Looking out of the backfield to Omer. Omer cuts. He's near that first down marker. I think that might be a first down. As Tunney, with the linebacker for Roncalli, was forced to make the tackle. It is a Brave first down.
And now maybe we'll see some momentum from the Braves here. Oh,
fumble in the backfield, and Geske handles the football. A late hit out there. Good sportsmanship there shown by one of the defensive linemen, Nathan Turner, for Roncalli, as he was tied up there with Jaden Curtis, number 65. Second down, you can't make those mistakes, but they can get them back because they can throw the football.
And I spoke too soon. I thought we had some momentum with Brebeuf, finally able to get a first down, a little bit of yardage there. That snap was a little wild, but hopefully they're able to maintain their composure and keep this drive going.
Geske in the backfield, out of the shotgun. Looking down the middle, and this one is well overthrown for Clark, 13.
He's lucky he didn't throw that a little shorter. That would have been right in the hands of Roncalli there, as Roncalli was beating his defender by a good second.
Taylor Clark has a lot of speed, but Maverick just threw the ball up for grabs. And as you mentioned, that was about 10 yards over his head, and that'll be third and long. Third down from the 34-yard line, 3rd and 15 for Brebeuf here in the second period, trailing by a touchdown.
And that was Brebeuf's second time throwing a pass over 10 yards.
Four-man rush, and Clark makes the catch. That'll be a first down. Great hands there by Taylor Clark. The ball was thrown up above. He high-pointed it, pulled it down, and here come the Braves.
Good catch by Taylor Clark. Hit him right in the hands, and that ball was coming out a little bit, but was able to get that second chance grab.
Geske looking for Buckman. He drops the football off of his fingertips. It'll be second down.
Kind of same catch situation there, where it hits him right in the hands, bounces off, but he wasn't able to get that second chance catch there.
Tonight's game built by Universal Roofing Exteriors. Visit them at universalroofing.com or call 317-257-0779. And by Genesis Sports Performance. Visit them at genesissportsperformance.com. Second down, 10. Brebeuf, Geske, the give to Omer. Omer breaks a tackle. He tries to drive through, and he's finally set down. And spearing in there and missing the stop was 29, Joey Uberta, who's one of the top tacklers for Eric Quintana's ball club, but he could not wrap him up that time. Behind the line of scrimmage, Buckman, he can throw. Downfield to Taylor. Clark, got him! He got him down to the 5-yard line. Threw a little gadget play. They threw the gadget play. Nolan Buckman downfield. The pass was behind the line of scrimmage. It is a first down. Brebeuf, they're marching on the doorstep, looking to tie this game. Big catch by Taylor Clark.
Roncalli was not ready for that little flea flicker play. Thought that he was going to run and try and get a little bit of yardage, but threw that ball up, and a perfect pass and a perfect catch by Brebeuf to get themselves in their first red zone opportunity of this game.
Jaden Omer, first down and 5, and a nice stop in the backfield Baugh came up and make the tackle. Andrew Baugh has been outstanding this entire season for Roncalli. In the first 5 games, he leads the Royals in tackles with 37. He was blitzing all the way, and Jaden Omer could not slip through. A loss of about 4 on the play. 2nd and goal.
Good trip up by Roncalli there. Omer had wide open field to get himself in the end zone. I also want to give credit to Omer 2 plays before on that run. Good ball security there as Roncalli trying to rip it out.
Geske, the give to Omer. He's going to throw down the field. Caught by Buckman, touchdown! Omer to Buckman for the touchdown. Another little gadget play, a little toss sweep. Jaden Omer stopped. He threw the football in the back of the end zone to Nolan Buckman. Touchdown, Brebeuf, 7-6. And Cole Williams and his group, the special teamers, come in the ball game as Maverick Geske will do the holding, and Quinn Warren will hope to tie this one up.
And a great throw there right over the top of 2 Roncalli defenders. Did not know what was happening. Definitely threw them off. And a great catch there by Nolan Buckman to get themselves 6 and into this game.
The snap, this one may have been tipped at the end, but it goes through. Quinn Warren nails it through. And we've got ourselves a tie ball game here in the second period as Brebeuf battles back on a little gadget play, on a toss sweep, and the pass to Buckman in the backside of the end zone. It's 7-7 here in the second.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car.
In the film, right? I mean, those are the type of plays you're not prepared for, and Brebeuf executed that perfectly, that little flea flicker play to get themselves about 50 yards. And then that last play right over the 2 defenders of Roncalli, after that hurry-up offense, Roncalli could just not get themselves established, and great momentum by Brebeuf. And now we got a ball game, Mike.
We certainly do, and our game tonight is built by Universal Roofing Exteriors. Visit them at universalrfg.com or call 317-257-0779, and by Genesis Sports Performance and Training Indianapolis area grade and high school athletes and adult strength training. Visit genesissportsperformance.com. Well, Matt Geske, the 2015 Portland Intercollegiate Athletic Hall of Fame inductee, has done a great job drawing up these plays that have caught the Roncalli Royals off guard, and that's what you have to do to beat a team that's a little bit bigger and stronger than you, to develop that confidence and the mentality that you are going to win the game. And now it's 7-7.
And a lot of momentum here for Buff. In that first quarter, it was very quiet, and now we have the home crowd engaged in this game. Big play, great touchdown, and now we should see Brebeuf carry this momentum through this first half.
Quinn Warren will kick off for the Brebeuf Braves. This one is taken by Brandenburg at the 3. He's got some space right down the middle, and he slows down as he runs into Cole Williams.
He looked like he had a lot of momentum there. I thought he was going to go past that 20, but he hit a brick wall and stepped back about a yard trying to get his momentum, but stopped right at that 25-yard line. Still a great return for catching that in the end zone. A nice 25-yard gain from where he had caught it.
Clearly there are a lot of scouts at this football game. One of them I saw before the game, Ted Karras Jr., graduated from Northwestern, the proud father of Teddy Karras, who's now playing in the offensive line for the Cincinnati Bengals. And Cole Williams is a prospect. He can get to the football. He's a tough kid, and he's only going to get bigger and stronger. He is really good for Coach Geske's Braves. Moyers gives to Hansen off the right side, and Macaluso drives him back after a gain of 3. One of the things that I've noticed early on, the good news, Brebeuf is rallying the football. Jake Weinstein, the defensive coordinator for the Brebeuf Braves, has to feel really good about his club, even though they're tied at 7.
Absolutely, and they're able to stop those inside runs, doing a great job there. It's just a little bit of a concern on the outside runs where Luke Hansen has been able to find some openings. So great job there by Brebeuf, and we'll see if they can keep this momentum and this defense strong.
Moyers, the senior quarterback, back to pass. A give and go down the right side. He overthrew him. He had his receiver, Bryce Heimlich, for a minute there, number 86, but the ball was overthrown. Heimlich did a nice double move there.
He did, and he had a little bit of separation there. Had that ball been a little closer, he definitely had the opportunity. Had his defender beat, it would have been a tight window, but overall, great throw and a great read, just a little too long.
3rd and 7 for Moyers and the Royals from their own 28. Looks like maybe 6 guys are rushing the quarterback. The give. Nope, they're going to throw it to Tunney. He's going to get himself a first down and more. 50. Down to the 40-yard line. That'll be a first down. He was caught from behind by one of the Brebeuf Braves defenders, but not after a huge gain.
Great blocking there by Roncalli, and he even had some more opportunities for blocks there, but ran ahead of his offensive line there. They could not catch up to him, but overall, still a great gain and moving along here.
Bryson Buford was the guy that made the tackle for Brebeuf, but not after a huge first down. It'll be first down for the Royals at the 36.5, maybe the 37-yard line for Eric Moyers, the senior. Hansen. Again, he skips through. He breaks a tackle. He's still going. And he gets inside the 25-yard line. His feet never stopped. He kept going. He kept moving. And they finally get him way back at the backside. That is a Royal first down at the 25-yard line.
That little spin move, Mike. He had his left foot caught, was trying to spin out, finally got his foot out, started backpedaling, and was still able to get himself some offensive yardage there. Great job by Hansen.
Around the edge, and a good job of breaking this one down. That was number 42 carrying the football for Guthrie for the Royals. And dropping him in the backfield was Leroy Lewis.
Looks like Guthrie will come out, and Dylan Coughlin is going to take over here.
Positive yardage for Roncalli, a gain of about 4 for Guthrie, 2nd and 6. Roncalli tried to spread things out to get this running game going. Hansen, he cuts left. He's got himself, I think, a first down on the far side of the field. He does a great job of stopping, going, and looking for his blockers, and then accelerating through that hole and getting himself a first down.
And such a smooth runner, Mike. Looks like he's ice skating out there, the way he's just able to move and create those quick jukes and get past defenders. These defenders have to keep their head on a swivel to get Luke Hansen down.
Ben Brandenburg checks into the lineup, giving Luke Hansen a breather there. Brandenburg, number 35 for the Royals, as they have a first down from their rough 14.
And Brandenburg, a 6'1", 180-pound linebacker.
Moyers looking down the middle, and he overthrew his receiver. Devin McElwain was covering him, and he was looking all the way for Jaden Buchanan, number 15. The football was well overthrown.
It was, but I want to say that route was executed perfectly. A little post slant there, had the separation, just needed that ball on target, and that would have been a touchdown.
2nd and long. Coughlin and Buchanan to the far left, 2 receivers far right, Brandenburg in the backfield. Moyers. The give to Brandenburg off the right side, and he's met by Cole Williams, and down he goes. He had some help from some teammates. One of the tacklers was Noah Bogle, number 61, the junior. Comes in at 267 pounds. Played his junior high football at Park Tudor. That is about a 2-yard gain, so excellent defense for the Braves. And it brings 3rd down to Roncalli. This ball game all tied up here in the 2nd period.
We see Hansen back in the game, Mike.
5 minutes to go in the ball game. Luke Swartz also comes in as a tight end. Hansen, the ball carrier, as flags fly. There may have been some movement by Roncalli up front.
Yeah, I'm wondering too, Mike. That seemed a little late. Pointing could be a holding call.
I think there was a movement on the Roncalli side. I think 99, who had checked in the ball game, Luke Swartz, was moving forward before the ball snapped. And they are going to be penalized 5 yards. That's a big penalty, but it still gives them plenty of space to maneuver. Third down and 8 from the 12.
We should probably see a pass here, Mike.
Well,
which Roncalli hasn't done too much of, not with Luke Hansen in the backfield, but a 3rd and 8 now.
Coach Geske is talking to one of the officials right now, as both ball clubs are catching a breather. So this is really a plus for both ball clubs, both the offensive and defensive lines, who have really been battling at this throughout the course of this ball game early on. With 4:56 to go in the half, we're in the second period. The ball game is tied. Macaluso will check in with Kersey. So Brebeuf is taking advantage of this break by sending in 2 fresh legs.
Yeah,
and now they're going to move. And Brebeuf's going to decline the penalty. That's going to be 4th down for Roncalli. They will decline this penalty.
Wow.
Levi Whistler will check in the ball game as Ball will hold number 17. Looks like he'll mark it around the 17. It'll be about a 27-yard field goal to take the lead. Remember, Whistler knocked in the game winner against Chittard several weeks back. Here's a high snap. Good hold by Ball. The kick is up. It looks good. It is. 27-yarder for Ball. And with 4 minutes and 51 seconds to go in the second period, the Royals take the lead at 10-7.
Very impressive special teams. We talked about this earlier. They can punt the ball. They can kick the ball. Very impressive. It is important in all games to be able to have something like that. So really special. Great job there by Roncalli to put 3 points on the board, create a little bit of a lead, but still a lot of ball game left.
Tonight's game is built by Universal Roofing Exteriors. Visit them at universalrfg.com or call 317-257-0779. Our game also is brought to you by Genesis Sports Performance Training in Indianapolis. They do training for area grade and high school athletes as well as adult strength training. Visit genesissportsperformance.com. John Faust, less than 5 minutes to go in the second period. Roncalli on top 10-7. And actually the good news is the Brebeuf defense was able to tighten up and hold Roncalli to a field goal, just exactly what they wanted to do.
Absolutely. Now we'll see what Brebeuf can do after that great drive with the flea flicker and really throwing off that Roncalli defense. Now they've had some time to reassess and get on the same page. So now let's see what Brebeuf has up their sleeve for this drive to get themselves ahead in this ball game.
Whistler will kick off for Roncalli. It'll be McElwain to the near side, Myers to the far side. This one going towards McElwain. Devin at about the 7. To the right side, getting a block. And he goes out of bounds as Roncalli did a pretty good job of covering there. It was number 14, Sampson, was the guy that ran him out. But it'll be a first down for Brebeuf with 4:45 to go. Plenty of time to get on the board.
Been a lot of different kickoff scenarios here for Roncalli, and Brebeuf has been ready for all of them. And for them to be able to take that ball from the 5 and move it up to the 30-yard line is a nice plus for Brebeuf on that special team side.
McClamrock will snap the football for Brebeuf. They'll start at the 30. First down and 10. Maverick Geske, the sophomore, looks for Jack Myers in the flat. And he's tackled after about a 4-yard gain. That's not such a bad play because it brings some positive yardage for the Braves.
And now we see Brebeuf starting to get a little comfortable. Now they have a little bit of time now. The score is close. They're not coming back from 0-7. We're going to see them go back to their comfortable plays with the short throws, get that little extra yardage, move that ball downfield.
Myers, and he gets submarine right at the point of attack. Really nice play defensively by Roncalli. That was 18 making the stop. J.J. Prendergast. Previous play, the defensive end was one of the tacklers, Nathan Turner, and he ran from sideline to sideline to make the tackle. Third down for the Braves. Geske looking to throw. The caught is made by Broling, the tight end. He's awfully close to the first down marker, and I think he got it.
I think he did too. Great job there by Brebeuf. Again, with the short gains, not only are they doing what's comfortable for them, but they're also decreasing the opportunity that Roncalli has to try and put some extra points on before halftime.
Lowry was the guy that came up and made the tackle, number 4 for Roncalli. First down for the Braves. Lowry has 18 tackles this year. Meyer, right side. Breaks away. He's going to go. He's got himself a first down. He got through that gap and finally dropped down by one of the Royals defenders on the backside. That was Braden Lauk, number 6, who came up with a tackle for Roncalli, but not after Jack Myers gets the first down.
Some great acceleration there. Really kicked on those afterburners and went from 2 to 10 yards really quickly. Great run there. Got themselves the first down. Now they're sitting at the half line here.
Myers again, and this time he's not going far, as number 10, Tunney, came in from the linebacker spot. Again, one of those guys that plays both ways for Eric's ball club.
A lot of time left on the clock here, Mike, but we're seeing some no-huddle offenses here, and now they're looking at a third down and 3rd and 9.
That was a really nice play there defensively by Roncalli. They gave him no room to run. That was 29. Uberta, the linebacker, came in and made the tackle. It's one of the reasons why he is one of the leading tacklers for this ball club.
I feel
33 stops.
Brebeuf not taking the time to kind of think this out. They did those 2 plays in about 20 seconds. Still 2 minutes left on this clock. If they can't convert this, Roncalli's getting the ball back.
3rd down and 10. Maverick Geske back to pass. Looking left for the tight end, and he's got his man Bowling. Bowling had the corner beat on the side there, Lowry, and that'll be a first down. Jared Bowling has been a nice addition, catching the football from that tight end slot tonight for Coach Geske.
Absolutely, and that's the play we saw earlier for that first down for Brebeuf. That kind of curl there by the tight end, just getting past that defender. Great play there, and it's something that we'll probably see more of tonight.
Well, Jared Bowling has the advantage, no doubt about it. He's 6'4", 224. The youngster has done a really nice job catching the football from Maverick Geske in this ball game. Bowling coming into the contest with just 3 receptions and 13 yards. Geske, I think there may have been a timeout before the ball was snapped. Yep, it's a Roncalli. Make that a Brebeuf timeout. Matt Geske wants to talk it over. With that, we'll take a break on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Back at St. Vincent Health Field, it's Roncalli 10, Brebeuf 7. And John Faust, it's beginning to rain.
It is beginning to rain, but it's a very light rain. Nothing too problematic yet. But we do have some inclement weather approaching. Just not sure how much rain we're going to get.
For Brebeuf, the key in this ball game will be McClamrock, the center, the sophomore, 5'10", 245. He played his middle school football at St. Luke, where he was a Ram, number 64. And if he can effectively snap that football, and it's a little bit wet, to Maverick Geske, the Braves got a chance in this ball game. First down for the Brebeuf Braves, inside Roncalli territory at the 34. Jack Myers joins. make that Nolan Buckman now quarterbacking for the Brebeuf Braves. Buckman carrying. He's got some yardage, and he's finally wrapped down.
Nice little play there. Another trick up the sleeve, a direct snap directly to number 11 there to throw off that Roncalli defense, looking at the halfback, but they needed to look at him and some easy yardage there.
And Nolan's going to stay in the ball game as Huberta, the linebacker, 29, was the guy that made the tackle, but not after about 3 yards for Nolan Buckman. Buckman, fake toss. He goes right up the middle. He gets some positive yardage. Still short of a first down. Tunney was one of the tacklers for Roncalli, along with number 17. That's Baugh for Roncalli. And that's a good sign for Brebeuf when the guys in the backside are beginning to make the tackle. They're blowing out those defensive linemen. Luke Swartz has not made any plays recently, number 99. Early on in the ball game, he's been really good. 3rd and short.
And it looks like Nolan Buckman will continue to stay out there.
Now Roncalli wants timeout. They see something that they want to talk about. And if I'm Brebeuf, we're going to probably throw the football here on 3rd and short and catch Roncalli off guard.
Yep.
They've had that sort of trend here early on the ball game where they've really caught Roncalli short a few times, and it's really paid dividends.
Yeah, I think in this second half, Mike, they dusted off the unique playbook and said, we're going to try some of these trick plays because what we're doing is not working. And now we're starting to see some momentum by Brebeuf off of the flea flicker, off of these direct snaps to Nolan Buckman, who plays wide receiver, creating some unique opportunities, some things that Roncalli is not ready for. And that's why we see a timeout by head coach Eric Quintana to reassess with his team and discuss how they need to overcome this ball club. And Brebeuf coming out again with Nolan Buckman, probably going to try the same thing that they were going to try earlier. And I wouldn't be surprised if it is a pass, Mike, just like you said. 2 direct snaps for a run. Surely they don't do the same thing 3 times.
3rd down for Brebeuf. From the Roncalli 25, it is 3rd and 1. And why not pass the football, because you've got 2 downs to get that first down. You're just a yard short. But you have to avoid the sack. This is Buckman. He's going to take to the right side. He gets a hole. I think he's got himself a first down. He had about 5 gray helmets attack, but not before he gets himself the first down. And here come the Braves as the clock continues to hold now, and now it's running under a minute to play. 45 seconds to go.
And if it works, it works. Wasn't sure if they're going to run that same play 3 times, but if it works, you got to keep it running.
Maverick Geske now into quarterback. Down the right side. This is
It's caught. Touchdown.
Touchdown, Brebeuf. I believe that was Clark again. Taylor Clark on the right side from Maverick Geske. What a shot. What a shot from the young sophomore. Man.
Big throw there. Had 2 wide receivers down and 1 defender, Roncalli. Wasn't sure who he needed to guard. Right over his head directly into Clark's hands. Great touchdown there by Brebeuf. And 2 big throws, very similar to each other, that we saw in this game. Brebeuf making some big throws when they need to.
33.9 seconds remain before halftime, and Quinn Warren is set up with Maverick Geske to hold. The kick is up. It looks good, and it is. And guess what? We got ourselves a ball game here from St. Vincent Health Field. It's Brebeuf 14, Roncalli 10.
Big play there by Brebeuf, and now we're seeing a lot of momentum. They're at home. They figured out their offense. They were getting stopped big time in the beginning, but like I said, they've adjusted their playbook. They've been able to counter Roncalli and the running. They're doing a better job, and a lot of momentum going into the second half. But still 33 seconds left in this game. A lot of time left for Roncalli. Let's see if they make their way down this field and add an extra 3 or even 7.
Tonight's game is built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit them at universalrfg.com or call 317-257-0779. And by Genesis Sports Performance, training Indianapolis area grade and high school athletes and adult strength training. Visit genesissportsperformance.com. And right now it's Brebeuf 14, Roncalli 10 with 33.9 seconds to go in the second period. Does Quinn Warren try to kick the ball out of the end zone, or does he try to squib it? I think if I'm Quinn and Coach Geske, I'm going to kick it out of the end zone. Do not squib it because it's going to give Roncalli at least a couple plays to move the football downfield. And Levi Whistler is capable of kicking a field goal.
It is. And earlier we saw with these kicks, I mean, Roncalli is still able to take it out about 30 yards. So we'll see if he can get himself a touchback here.
Quinn Warren, number 99, is setting that football up at his own 40-yard line. Here is the kick by Quinn Warren towards Ben Brandenburg. He's going to take it in the end zone. That'll be a touchback. Excellent job by Quinn Warren. That's what you need to win a championship.
Absolutely. Great kick by Warren there. Just caught it within. Brandenburg definitely wanted to run with that, but had caught it right in that end zone. It was a touchback.
Eric Moyers, the senior quarterback at his first year starting for Roncalli, has had a very good season, particularly the last couple games. 37 out of 73, 396 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. But as we talked about, Luke Hansen leading the state in rushing, and he has not disappointed us. He's been outstanding running the football for Eric Quintana's ball club. And this is him. Hansen running over a tackler and getting some help for Brebeuf. Finally going down. It'll be second down. And the clock is running. Under 25 seconds to go.
Wow, big truck there. Knocked over his defender and got that extra yardage. Great move by Luke Hansen to drop that shoulder and get truck right over that defender. A lot of power in his runs. He's a powerful runner. He's a quick runner. He's an all-around great running back.
Nolan Buckman is one of the safeties.
They let the time run out, Mike.
And they did. I was going to mention Buckman and Brooks in the backfield defensively for Brebeuf, and that defense has played extremely well. But it was the offense with Geske throwing to Clark for the touchdown. It's Brebeuf 14, Roncalli 10 at halftime. And our halftime guest upcoming will be the statistician of the Brebeuf Jesuit Braves, Tad Williams. When we return, you're watching Indiana High School football on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at GenesisSportsPerformance.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
We are back at St. Vincent Health Field. It's halftime. It's the Brebeuf Braves 14, the Roncalli Royals 10. I'm Mike Walensky. Our halftime guest is Tad Williams, the official statistician for Brebeuf Brave football. And Right now, it looks like the Brebeuf Braves are playing outstanding football on both ends.
Mike, I got to tell you, I'm a little surprised. Especially, we knew Luke Hansen was going to come in here and do what he does behind that 1,700-pound Big Ten offensive line of Roncalli's, and based on the first couple of drives, it looked like we might see a blowout here. But guess he's got this team ready. And you knew that when Roncalli had the football, that was going to be the matchup of strength against strength that everybody in Central Indiana football was interested in seeing tonight.
So far, we've seen a contrast of two ball clubs. One, Brebeuf wants to throw the football. Mavrogeski tonight, 11 out of 15 for 72 yards. Roncalli wants to run the football. They've been effective with Luke Hansen, 19 carries for 109 yards. I think the team that spreads it out has more balance, has a chance to win. It looks like Brebeuf's got a chance to make a run. They've got to be able to defend this third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those games, right, where Hansen goes in, gets calmed down, gets his rest, and we'll see what the first 5 minutes looks like. Brebeuf is skating on a thin edge with a couple of gadget plays accounting for their touchdown, right? I mean, Jaden Ulmer's thrown the best pass of the night for Brebeuf, and he hasn't thrown a pass since he was a third grader. So I don't know how many tricks Matt Geske has in his hat, but it's very interesting. This game has reminded me a little bit of some of the Jeff Fisher coached Titans teams that would come into the old RCA Dome when they were badly outmatched by the Peyton Manning Colts, and they'd have 5 onside kicks and go for it on every fourth down. Jeff Fisher was that kind of gamble everything coach to try and get an advantage, and Geske has not been that kind of coach in his tenure at Brebeuf, but he certainly has seemed like he will do anything to win this game tonight. It's very interesting.
Our halftime guest is Tad Williams, official statistician for Brebeuf Jesuit. One of the things that I've been impressed by this year, I haven't seen Brebeuf play that much over the last 5 or 10 years, with the exception when Mick Ressler was here in some semi-state football games in the state championship, is the depth. This football team has some depth, particularly in the trenches where you need to have it. They're sending guys in both defensively and offensively.
That's right. We have had a couple of lines on defense, and that is a real tribute to a couple of things that we talked about last week. The enrollment increased at Brebeuf during the pandemic, but Geske is such a salesman, and he is able to go out and get a lot of kids and a lot of kids' moms to commit to football and commit to the weight room all summer. And so you've got a surplus of 250-pound quick guys that can tackle, and that's something we haven't seen here.
Tad, you're a stat guy. One stat that stands out to me on the page that you delivered here for this first half is this stat right here. Roncalli has no sacks in the first half. That is a big concern for Eric Quintana coming into halftime, because this is a Brebeuf team that loves to throw the football. You've got to put pressure on Mavrogeski.
So the other thing is look at Brebeuf's percentage. Brebeuf is 13 for 17 throwing the ball. They've barely completed 50% of their passes all year. And part of this is because they've decided to go to this very quick release, sped up. I mean, that looked like West Lafayette for a while out there wearing Brebeuf football helmets, and it's just 2 steps back and wham, screen pass, screen pass, screen pass, and for the most part it was working. If you can consistently get 3 or 4 yards on a screen pass to Myers or Omer, you can move the ball against these guys.
They've done a phenomenal job. Halftime score, it's Brebeuf 14 on Roncalli 10, and this is a game that you'd expect it to be competitive. I think for some people that don't follow high school football, they may say, oh, Roncalli's a power, Brebeuf's just going to sit down. No, this is a team, Brebeuf, that's there. They're right there right now. It's just what they are willing to do. It's up to the kids, the coaching staff, what they're able to accomplish, and they've got everything right now to be competitive.
It's funny, Mike, we talk a lot about the hierarchy of these parochial schools in the Circle City Conference and how, for example, Guerin just seems to always play down against Brebeuf. It's almost like the little brother that can't quite play against the big brother. Likewise, Brebeuf always seems to play down against Chittard. That's not much of a rivalry when you've only beaten Chittard 3 times in 40 years. And yet, for whatever reason, whenever Roncalli and Brebeuf square off, these two teams play like they're evenly matched. And there's not one team that seems to have the advantage over the other psychologically. I mean, the last time these two teams played on this field, it was 2018, but Brebeuf ran them off. It was almost a running clock game.
Tad, I find it amazing that if you look in this press box, there's very little room. You've got a home group from Brebeuf who's broadcasting the game. You've got the Roncalli folks broadcasting. You've got us. And let me just say this about the Roncalli folks. There's a gentleman there who's got his back turned to us. He is Dan Bauer. He is my all-time favorite college football player. I've known Dan since he was a student at Indiana University. He is a Roncalli graduate. He's a Mallory man. I respect him a great deal. He does a great job broadcasting, and I'm so happy to be in the same booth as him, as you are with Jerry Baker, who's our PA guy tonight.
With the voice of God, a man that I listen to call every Indianapolis 500 I listened to growing up on the radio fishing on a lake in Brown County, Indiana, and to have him in here lending his voice to us, and his voice showing up occasionally on your broadcast is a real treat. You're right. There's a lot of magpies in the press box at Brebeuf tonight.
And it's interesting, and we talked about the growth of Brebeuf football. I recall some 20-some years ago, there was not a press box. There was very little support for this program, and things have really changed dramatically. In fact, tonight, they had to put seats in the end zone. Now, that might be a reflection of the fact that Roncalli brings a lot of people, but still, this home stand here is completely packed.
You know, Mike, I think this reflects the growth of Indiana high school football, fueled by Jim Irsay and the Indianapolis Colts franchise, the great years we had with Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck, growing the sport in general. I started here in 06, and it was a wasp-infested treehouse of a press box. And they built this thing. It was a palace 7 years ago, and it's already outdated because the game has grown so much. And now that Brebeuf has become somewhat similar to Roncalli, a team that's always pretty good parochial power, you're right. We need to probably double the size of seating at this place.
The guy that impressed me in the first half for Brebeuf, and if he can continue to have this kind of game in the second half, is Quinn Warren. His kicking, both off the tee and his punting, has been sensational. You've got to have that, and he's been able to provide that. It's been a huge difference. Field position in a game like this is really important.
It's amazing the kickers Ben Jones turns out in this special teams program at Brebeuf. Ben's a former kicker for Joe Tiller at Purdue, and they have had a number of kickers here, and there's 3 on the roster this year. Now, I'm an LC parent, and I follow both the Lawrence Township High School programs very closely. And when LN played LC, they went for 2 on every touchdown because neither one of those schools has a kicker that's worth a darn. God love them. And they're 6A schools. Combined attendance, 8,000 kids at those schools. So it really shows the kind of job that Ben Jones has done here with the special teams program at Brebeuf.
So you got Ben Jones from Purdue, but you got another guy who I've known for a number of years in Kyle Coney, who's helping out with the offensive line. Kyle played his high school football at Cathedral, later played at Florida. He was a Gator. He was an outstanding football player for the Florida Gators. You got a really nice staff assembled here for Brebeuf. So this is a program, if you live anywhere in the city of Indianapolis, you want to look at to play because you know that Matt is very creative offensively, and his defenses with a guy like Bill Somm and another individual I've known for a number of years, these guys can really play. They can flat out play, and they can flat out coach.
They sure can. And, you know, one other guy on the staff I want to give a quick shout out to is our wide receivers coach, Max Kucher. Cooch is the all-time leading receiver here at Brebeuf, and it's got to be driving him nuts to have seen the number of drop passes by this young receiving corps for the Braves in the first couple of games. I think against Guerin, they dropped more passes in one game than Max dropped his entire career at Brebeuf, and he's coached them up. And tonight, I haven't seen a drop pass, and we've seen a couple of great receptions. So if you can get the speedy wideouts at Brebeuf to actually be taken seriously by opposing defensive backs, that adds a whole new dimension to the game.
Speed really counts. quickness and strength, and you've got to have a good strength program. Apparently, it looks like Brebeuf has been able to do that. They're matching up fairly well, and it looks like on the outside they've got some mismatches, some speed, and with Bowling at tight end, there's nobody that Chittard can match up with them at tight end at 6'4", and he's been able to catch the football.
You know, there's somebody in this stadium tonight from New Palestine's coaching staff that is watching and taking careful notes, because those two schools appear destined to be the heavyweights in 4A. I'm counting Brebeuf short. Maybe we come out of the sectional, but Roncalli and New Pal seem on a collision course, and nobody except the Braves tonight has been close to either school. And the Braves are showing the rest of 4A something tonight about how to stop, or at least slow down, right? I mean, Hanson's still got 108 yards, and we're talking about him like somehow they've not performed up to there. I mean, he's on course for a 200-yard night, but fast scores are better than slow scores, right? So we'll see.
Right.
It's going to be an interesting section.
Ted, I have one other school that may present some problems in the sectional play. That's Mooresville.
Yeah, I know.
I think Mike Gillen is a fantastic coach. He's got some athletes. It's going to be very interesting. And if you're a high school football fan, regardless if you support Brebeuf or not, come out and watch these games.
Oh, my God.
I mean, there's going to be some really good
You're right.
ball
Patterson,
games.
the quarterback down at Mooresville is something else.
They're good. Okay, we got a halftime score, 14-10. Brebeuf over Roncalli. Our halftime guest was Tad Williams. Thanks a lot again for coming on. We really appreciate it. You're watching high school football on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
We're back at St. Vincent Health Field. It's halftime. Brebeuf 14, Roncalli 10. We've got ourselves a battle brewing. I'm Mike Walensky. Here's John Faust with some scores.
Yeah, so let's read some scores going around the state today. Some good matchups. We've got Tipton up 26-14 against Northwestern, that game at halftime. We have Terre Haute South Vigo down 20-22 against Northview, that game also in halftime. See, we've got Franklin Community up against Mooresville 14-7. Mooresville 5-0. I know you were just talking about them, Mike, and how they could be a trouble for one of these two teams being in the same conference. That game is in the third quarter. Again, Mooresville down by 7, but a lot of game left. We'll check back on that one later today. Greenwood versus Perry Meridian. Perry Meridian up 17-14. Both ball clubs 1-4, so trying to turn their season around. We have Homestead leading Fort Wayne Northside 28-21. Fishers is leading Avon 14-0. Avon currently 0-5, trying to find their first win of the season. Western Boone ahead of Frankfort 28-0. Harrison Lafayette Jefferson tied 13-13, that game in the third quarter. Both teams 4-1, a good game up there in Lafayette. We've got Lawrenceburg up 17-0 against Batesville, that game in the second quarter. Martinsville is up 21-14 against Whiteland, two good ball clubs there. Whiteland 5-0 and Martinsville 4-1. We've got Boonville up 7-0 against Mount Vernon, but that game is still early in the first quarter. Covenant Christian leading Heritage Christian 21-7, that game in the second quarter. Both teams 3-2. Park Tudor leading North Central 35-0, that game in the second quarter. Decatur Central and Plainfield tied up 14-14, that game at halftime. Both ball clubs 2-3. Hamilton Southeastern leading Zionsville at halftime 17-3. Southmont leading Danville 21-0. Carroll leading Tri-Central 21-7. Triton Central leading 51-0 against Cardinal Ritter, which we're broadcasting here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. That game in the second quarter.
Whoa.
And we got Ben Davis currently ahead 14-7 against Lawrence North. That game at halftime. Carmel up 23-7 against North Central. Center Grove leading Lawrence Central 35-15. Kokomo, who's 5-0, leading McCutcheon 35-7 at halftime. Concord leading Goshen 23-0. Seeger and Fountain Central tied up at 21-21 in the second quarter. And Gearin Catholic leading Bishop Chatard 17-10, that game at halftime. Indianapolis Scecina currently up 13-7 against Lutheran. Both ball clubs 5-0. One of those teams will lose tonight. We'll see who later tonight. Bloomington South leading Southport 37-0. Franklin Central leading Noblesville 14-7, that game in the second quarter. Mount Vernon leading Pendleton Heights 22-7. And that is scores from around the state, Mike. And we'll check in after this ball game and see where some of those scores end up. But some good games around Indianapolis tonight on this beautiful fall day.
John, the one program that creates some interest is Chris Cole's Franklin Grizzly Clubs. You mentioned they're up 14-7 over Mike Gillen's Mooresville team. Franklin could potentially meet Whiteland in their sectional. One of those teams, in terms of what they've done, at least so far, we're only 5 or 6 games in, could be capable of going to a state championship, winning it. Franklin has Max Clark, and a tremendous receiver, but most importantly, Max Clark is the number 1 baseball prospect in the country. And he plays wide receiver. He's got incredible straight line speed. He's got great hands. And Chris Cole's got him at Franklin. And this will not be a surprise if the Grizzly Cubs can knock off the Mooresville Pioneers tonight. But here we've got Brebeuf 14, Roncalli 10. To start off the third, Brebeuf will be kicking off. Quinn Warren will be kicking off. One of the guys deep for Roncalli is Ben Brandenburg, number 35. He is an outstanding return guy for Eric Quintana's Royals, who are 5-0 this year. Brebeuf 3-1 on the season. And here we go to start off the third. Quinn Warren had a fantastic first half. Can he do it again here in the second? Here's the kick.
Big kick. That looks like another touchback, Mike.
Yep, he did. You've got to have that. It's imperative to create a long field for Roncalli because they're deadly in the short game.
And I'm curious and excited to see what adjustments they make after that first half. Roncalli doing a great job of running the ball and creating a lot of opportunity there. But on the other side, Brebeuf and their offense creating some unique plays that Roncalli has not been ready for. So let's see if they create more of those unique plays, and let's see if Roncalli can adapt to it.
Eric Moyers, the senior quarterback, 396 yards passing this year out of a 3-man front defensively for Brebeuf. Now, it is raining a little bit. There are some umbrellas popping up throughout the stadium. This is Luke Hansen off the left side. Cole Williams giving chase, and he goes down after a short gain. And, John, it may be difficult as the field gets slick.
Yeah, this rain definitely has picked up. And you don't feel it as much but you can definitely see it in the reflection of the light there. You can see how much rain is coming down, but it's definitely going to affect this second half, Mike.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7 from the 23. Moyers taking his time looking over at the sideline for the play call. Ryan Joyce, defensively number 8 in the flat for Brebeuf. He leads the ball club, I believe, with 3 interceptions this year. Luke Hansen down the middle. It's going to be close to that first down marker. Real solid run by Luke Hansen coming to this game with over 1,300 yards. Finn Walters, 55, took him down, but boy, he pushed the pile back.
Yeah, a great run there by Hansen, not really being affected by this rain. But let's see, for him, the big thing will be ball security as it starts to get slick.
Moyers, this is Hansen off the left side. He's going. There he is. He's at the 44-yard line. And he's finally pulled down on the backside.
And
Brebeuf.
A good run by Hansen to juke right and then juke left and catch those defenders off guard. Saw some open space, and a good tackle there by Brebeuf to stop him from getting anything else.
I think that was Ryan Joyce. Kersey missed the tackle. Williams, Macaluso finally wrestles him down after a couple yards. But, boy, Brebeuf did a great job rallying to the football, and it looks like Finn Walters, number 55, is getting more involved on the defensive side. He's fighting through those blocks up front.
Yeah, absolutely. Some good blocking there by Roncalli to try and open up some opportunity for the running backs in this, which is their strength.
2nd and 7 from the 47-yard line. Moyers to Hansen to the left side, cuts through. He's got some positive yardage, but not much. And again, Charlie Kersey came over and did a good job with Logan Petrie closing that gap. Looked like Roncalli had a blocker head, but they were able to get him down to the ground after a gain of just maybe a 1, maybe 1.5. 3rd and long for Eric Moyers.
And a good block there by Luke Scarvett.
Brebeuf showing a rush of 7. Moyers, this one underthrown, looked for Tunney, and it'll be 4th down.
Tough start there for Roncalli on this opening drive of the second half. Currently down and trying to get themselves back in it.
Whistler will kick. Great coverage there by Brooks for Brebeuf. It'll be 4th down. Clark is deep for the Brebeuf Braves here to accept this punt from Levi Whistler. He'll be punting from his own 48. 4th down. Levi Whistler, nice punt. Fair catch by Clark, and he hands out onto it. They'll mark it, looks like about the 8, but a nice kick by Levi Whistler.
Very great kick, powerful kick. Had some height, some altitude to that one, and put themselves in a good spot here to make a defensive stop with Brebeuf sitting within the 10-yard line.
43-yard punt. Now Brebeuf has long field position, and the question is for Matt Geske, will he unleash the pass? They've been able to do that in the first half with that short passing game, and it appears to me that Jared Bowling, the tight end, is an absolute mismatch for Roncalli's defense. As Bowling is 6'4", and he's been able to handle the football fairly well in the first half. So it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Brebeuf Braves with Maverick Geske, the sophomore quarterback, from the 7-yard line. Toss sweep. That should be a pass to Jay Omer. Omer, good yardage there. Looks like he's down about the 12, maybe about 5 yards, but because of the fact that he pitched it forward, that's got to be counted as a forward pass.
Yeah, I agree there, Mike. Forward pass and a little bit of yardage.
And I don't see that much at all from anybody in high school football, but this has been something Brebeuf has been able to do successfully. Did it quite well against Culver Military Academy. In fact, C.J. Harris had a couple big gains in last week's game for the Braves. Omer, the single back. Geske looking deep down the right side. He's going to overthrow Clark. It's picked off. It's picked off at the 50-yard line.
And that's tough, Mike. He threw that into double cover separation between the wide receiver and those cornerbacks. They were ready for that pass this time, and we've seen that Brebeuf making those big throws, but the receiver not quite in the position to make the catch. Roncalli was anticipating that one and came up with the big stop, big interception at the 50-yard line.
George Martin was the guy that made the interception, number 8 for the Roncalli Royals. Martin comes up with a big pick for the Royals in this ball game. Martin came in the ball game with 15 tackles for the Royals, who have had some outstanding defensive play as well as running the football in that 5-0 record. Moyers now with 1st down. That'll put the football in Brebeuf territory. Hansen, he's going to get a couple. Again, good job defensively against the run. They're not giving up big plays, and they're doing a good job attacking that line of scrimmage. I think that's Devin McElwain coming up lame on the far side, number 20. Make that Brooks. That was Brooks, number 26. He's limping around there. Hopefully he'll be back. He's playing safety. Second down. Moyers back to pass. Getting a rush now. Getting away. Down he goes. Cole Williams again in the backfield.
Still got a little bit of yardage there, but I want to compliment the offensive line on that play. The quarterback looked at every option that he could, saw that there was nothing available, took the scramble, got some extra yardage, but the offensive line really bought him a good amount of time to look at all of his options before that scramble. Great job by the offensive line on that protection. That pocket was untouched for a good few seconds.
3rd and 5 from the Brebeuf 42. Big play upcoming for Moyers. Braves have 4 guys on the line of scrimmage. Hansen and Finn Walters pulls him down from behind, but I think he may have gotten a first down. It's going to be close.
It is going to be close. I think they're going to have to measure this one.
One of the officials looks like he's suggesting it's a first down.
And I think you're right, Mike.
And there it goes.
They're going to move the chains. And some good momentum here for Roncalli.
First down and 10 from the Brebeuf 37.
Big improvements from their opening drive. A lot of momentum, getting that interception and now moving the ball.
Tunney with the lead block. Hansen, Macaluso driving him to the ground along with Finn Walters, but I believe it was Macaluso, number 4, was the first guy that got to him, and that's a short gain.
Hansen was going to go nowhere on that play. Tried to break out, but he was wrapped up, not going anywhere. Great stop by Brebeuf.
No gain. Second down and 10. Moyers with a single back to the near side. That's 86 Heimlich. He's been targeted once in tonight's game. Moyers looking downfield, right down the middle. It's Tunney, and Charlie Kersey comes across along with Ryan Joyce to make the tackle. Great defensive job by Brebeuf. That's a couple-yard gain. That's it.
Yeah, nice little short pass there to get the little yardage, keep the ball moving forward.
That's just a 2-yard gain. 3rd down and 8 for Roncalli.
Big play here for Roncalli. Looking back over the sideline.
Moyers, give to Hansen, and he gets himself a first down. Wow, he ran over the right side. Cole Williams nearly had a tackle there in the backfield, along with Logan Petrie, but not enough. That'll be a first down.
Great run there by Luke Hansen on 3rd down to get themselves that first down. And now Roncalli inching their way towards that red zone, trying to get back the lead.
First down and 10. They'll put the football at the 25-yard line after a big gain by Luke Hansen. Ben Brandenburg checks in for Hansen, giving him a breather. He'll be in the backfield with Eric Moyers. Tunney playing that H-back on the right side. Make that Elsner, and that's Finn Walters. Walters takes Brandsburg right at the point of the attack. Walters came in the game with 6 sacks and
Walters,
a number of tackles for loss.
Coming out of nowhere and getting that big stop there on Brandenburg.
Elsner, 30, the tight end, came in for Tunney. They've been rotating those guys. Now Luke Hansen checks back in for Brandenburg, and Brebeuf makes some changes. Moyers with Luke Hansen in the backfield. Back to pack. Moyers looks for the screen. Caught. Look out. Down to the 20-yard line. That'll be a first down inside the 15. And the receiver was Dylan Coughlin.
Now Roncalli in the red zone after that great throw, great play there.
First down and 10 from the 13. Roncalli down 14-10 here in the 3rd. On their opening drive. Moyers turns, spins, pass to Elsner. He's down to the goal line. Did he get in?
Nope.
No signal. Looked like he went down, John, about the 1 or 2.
Yep, short there, but I have a hunch what they're going to do here, Mike.
Charlie Elsner, the junior, 6'2", 205 pounds, caught the pass from Eric Moyers. First and goal, put the ball on the 1 yard line now.
I think we're going to see Luke Hansen take this up the middle here.
And there he is, Luke Hansen, left side. He goes down. One of the Brebeuf linemen tried to submarine him, went right over the top for the touchdown. But Luke Hansen puts Roncalli on top.
What a valuable weapon there, short from the goal, to always have Luke Hansen as your guy to get to be able to pick up that score. Just a very powerful runner. Great run there and a great touchdown to put Roncalli back in the lead.
Ball will hold. Whistler comes in the ball game for Roncalli for the extra point. The Royals on top now. Brebeuf here in the third period by a score of 16-14. Still a little bit wet out there. Still some umbrellas. Here's a snap by Baugh. The hold. The kick is up by Whistler. He fell to the ground, and the kick is good.
He's a little slow, kind of walking that off, and he'll be okay.
17-14, Roncalli on the board here in the third period. Nearly the kick was blocked. Whistler thought he was run into, had some words with officials, but nevertheless, that was Luke Hansen's drive.
Absolutely. Again, a great job by Roncalli, able to get that interception at the 50-yard line, make their way up that extra 50 yards, punch that in for the touchdown, and now they have themselves the lead.
17-14, our score here from St. Vincent Health Field. Tonight's game is brought to you by Universal Roofing Exteriors. Visit them at universalrfg.com or call 317-257-0779. And by Genesis Sports Performance, training Indianapolis area high school athletes and adult strength training. Visit genesissportsperformance.com. Now it's a game of momentum. Can Roncalli build on that, or can the Brebeuf Braves fight back, trailing 17-14 in the third? Devin McElwain, Jack Myers will be deep. Levi Whistler to kick from his own 40.
Yeah, and Brebeuf doing really well with that short game. It's when they make those big throws, it either works out or it doesn't. And right before halftime, they made some big throws, and that's what got them all the way down to the end zone. But to open this second half with that big throw was intercepted into double coverage. Let's see if they limit those or if they start to go back to more of the short game that they're comfortable with.
Whistler's kick towards McElwain, 12-yard line. Takes a cut, gets to the outside, slips the tackle, down he's going to go. Boy, Roncalli swarmed him under on special teams. One of the tacklers there for the Royals, number 4, Lowry.
Sure did. Had him dancing, getting out, making some cuts, trying to find that opening, but Roncalli swarmed him up and stopped him from getting any extra yardage.
They'll start the football at the 26-yard line, trailing 17-14. With 4:37 to go in the third, Nolan Buckman comes in the ball game. He'll line up wide. Clark will be in the slot. Maverick Geske will be the quarterback, the sophomore. Out of the shotgun, Geske the give, right side, nothing there. And Roncalli had a tackler, was unblocked. Luke Hansen, who plays both ways now, makes the tackle.
That was a big hit by Luke Hansen
to
stop the running back there.
Jaden Omer had maybe 1 yard on the play. Hansen was unblocked. Nobody got a pad on him. He just slipped through. Second and about 9. Geske looking to Bowling, and I think there may have been interference. He makes the catch. He goes out of bounds. Ball hit him in the back before the ball even arrived.
Yeah, he was not ready for that pass, but it was almost kind of like that play that they ran earlier where the tight end goes out to the left side towards the out-of-bounds area. We saw that twice today that they've been able to convert, and again was able to get that one, but that's a play that they're comfortable with.
3-yard gain, 3rd and 6 from the 30. Maverick Geske calling the signals. There's a blitz from the outside. Picked up, and he's going to be sacked. He's going to be sacked. Luke Swartz, talked about him earlier. He was one of the guys that came in and made the tackle. And 95, I believe that's Seth Brasso came in. He's a junior, 6'3", 185. Those two guys been very effective at the point of attack. That's a sack. That'll force Brebeuf into a punt.
And they tried to look for Nolan Buckman downfield again, looking in double coverage, almost that same play we saw earlier with that interception, and he hesitated this time because he knew that throw could have been picked off in that double coverage.
Warren nearly blocked. Ball single deep, and it'll bounce backwards and then forwards. And this one is touched the 49-yard line. The question is, was it touched before? I think it may have been, John.
I think it was. I thought I saw a flag on the play. Yeah, the ref's picking it up. The ball was coming towards the 40, and a Brebeuf player had knocked it out trying to go towards the 50.
That'll put the football at the 44 of Brebeuf. And, boy, Roncalli now is in control of this football game, up by 3, 17-14, in great field position. A turnover would be just what Matt Geske would wish for. Let's see if they can do it as Eric Moyers leads the Royals back on the field. Moyer to throw the football, getting a rush from Walters from the backside. Down he goes, but not before he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the defender got past the offensive line there and tackled him from behind. He was trying to make some forward progress there, but again was tackled from behind. Good stop there by Brebeuf.
And, John, the ball was remarked, so actually that will be a sack of a yard loss. That will be a sack. The football was remarked. It looked like he had gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll be 2nd and long. The give to the running back, number 5. He's an outstanding back. He's going near the first down marker. Charlie Kersey was able to help out, make the tackle, along with Nolan Buckman, and I think that's another first down. That'll be really close.
It is really close.
Luke Hansen has just been phenomenal. He's been good all night long.
And it will be a first down. Yeah, great job by Luke Hansen. He's a real powerhouse, getting tons of yardage off of his runs. It's been a very big strength for Roncalli in their run game tonight.
He had 106 yards rushing the first half. Hansen again left side. He's driving Kersey for another 3 yards. That's another big gain on first down.
Big gain. Hansen getting low, trucking through, finding those open holes, and getting some nice gains of 8 yards. And that's why we talked about Hansen able to get 13 yards, or averaging 13 yards per carry. Doing a great job.
Moyers at the helm. Takes a snap. He's going to pass. Looking. Running downfield, and he reaches forward. I think this is going to be another first down.
I think so too. Good job there. Didn't see the options downfield. Took the scramble. Got the first down. Ideal situation here. Now they're within just short of that 20-yard line.
On the 24, officially 1st and 10. Good, solid game for a first down by the quarterback, the senior Eric Moyers. One of the things about Roncalli, they can take enough time, as much time as they want. They are in the lead, 17-14. They can milk the clock here in the third. Hansen left side, nobody there to close the edge. He gets a first down as Finn Walters pulls him down after a huge gain on first down. And that's the 3rd consecutive first down possession that Roncalli's had with gains of 5 or more. Can't have that happen if you're going to be able to defend this turf.
Yeah, no, Brebeuf starting to look a little gassed here. The offensive line doing a great job of adding some protection and some openings for Luke Hansen. Hansen just doing his thing, powering through, getting that yardage. Roncalli inching their way towards that end zone.
From the 17, Moyers, quarterback keeper. And he's brought down again. Connor Shang was the guy that made the stop, but not before Eric Moyers gets another first down. It'll be first down and 10. And that football will be marked near the 10-yard line. It'll be, let's set the 14. 1st and 10 from the 14. That's close enough. 4 yards short of the 10.
Brebeuf having a hard time stopping the rush, whether it's Hansen or it's Moyer.
Moyers, they give to Luke Hansen, and he gets by Joyce, but finally wrapped up in the backfield.
Good stop.
That
by
was
Brebeuf
Ryan
there.
Joyce that make that Macaluso. Joyce missed the tackle. Macaluso wrapped him up, number 4.
They were ready for that one. Good stop by Brebeuf to finally stop the momentum this running game's getting.
2nd and 13, the ball on the 17-yard line. And that is going to end the third quarter play, and Roncalli has taken control. They've got great field position. When we return, it's the Royals 17 and the Braves 14 on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Try our easy-to-use Shop by Payment tool. You set what you want to spend, and our True Payments engine will find the best matches across our entire inventory. You can even add your trade-in. You'll get customized financing for every vehicle matching your budget. You'll be amazed at what you can buy. There is no impact on your credit and no obligation to buy. Shop by Payment.
Tonight's game is built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit them at universalrfg.com or call 317-257-0779, and by Genesis Sports Performance Training. Indianapolis area grade and high school athletes and adult strength training. Visit genesissportsperformance.com. And John, you just mentioned it's pajama night.
It is pajama night. A lot of school spirit here. Everybody wearing pajamas, staying comfortable and staying warm during a colder Indiana day. You know, our weather has been consistently hot, but the first day we finally have kind of in the 50s.
Moyers the give to Coughlin. He got some positive yardage, but not before Devin McElwain drops him down. It was 2nd and 12. A little bit of motion action there with Coughlin coming around the left from the left to right and getting some yards, but Brebeuf defense trying to tighten up here. It'll be 3rd and 7, the ball on the 11-yard line.
And we'll see Roncalli continue to do what their strength has been, which is running the ball, Mike. And as they continue to run this ball, not only are they capitalizing on their strengths, their offensive line and their running, but they're also limiting any time of Brebeuf getting back in the
Moyers
game.
the give to Hansen off the left side. He's being pulled back by Finn Walters. This is going to be very close to that first down. I think it's a little bit short. Merrick Macaluso also defensively in on the stop for Matt Geski's Braves. It'll be 4th and short. 4th down, the ball is marked short of the marker.
And they're going for
Moyers, I think he's going to call time. Somebody's going to call timeout. It's Brebeuf. The Braves and Jake Weinstein, his defensive group, is calling timeout. The ball on the 5-yard line. It's 4th and 1. And here you go, John.
Yeah, we'll see what Roncalli does here with 4th and 1. Obviously, we're going to see more of that running game coming through here, and they're going to limit the opportunity that Brebeuf has. But taking a little bit of seconds here to kind of discuss the game plan on a big 4th and 1 here, because if Brebeuf can make a big stop, they can take this ball the other way and maybe tie the game or even take the lead. But a big play here for Roncalli. Let's see what they come up with.
It is a big play because there's 10 minutes and 52 seconds to go in the ball game. It's Roncalli 17, Brebeuf 14. Now, I think this timeout, as much as it helps Brebeuf organize, it benefits Roncalli because the offensive line gets to settle down and relax a little bit and catch a breather. A lot of these kids have been playing both ways. And now Eric Moyers takes to Roncalli. Royals back on the field against the Brebeuf Braves.
We got Luke Hansen in the backfield here. Only 2 wide receivers on the side here. We're going to see a big run up the middle. Maybe even over the left side.
Moyers, the give to Hansen is left side. He got submarine there, and I think he may have gotten this one.
Absolutely. He got about 2 or 3 yards off that run, but I want to credit the offensive line making big plays to provide Hansen that yardage.
First and goal for Roncalli. The football at the 4-yard line. Roncalli with a 17-14 lead, 10:30 to go in the ball game. Moyers joined in the backfield by Hansen. Charlie Elsner in motion. He plays tight end. The give to Hansen, left side. He's over the goal line. I think he's in. Touchdown, yes.
Great run
touchdown,
by Hansen.
Luke Hansen.
He's hard to stop on those goal line runs, Mike. A great offensive line.
And this is
there
very
with
unfortunate,
Roncalli.
John, because Connor Jang's on the field. He's injured. This is not a good sign for the Braves. Of course, he might have a cramp. Jang is the best defensive lineman, perhaps maybe the best offensive lineman that Coach Geske has on his roster. So with 10:21, it's already 23-14 Roncalli.
I hope it's a cramp. A lot of arm movement. Hopefully he's okay here. Maybe a Charlie horse as they're rubbing that calf a little bit. Hopefully just a calf cramp.
Luke Hansen's taken the ball game over. Just heard that he has 36 carries for 191 yards in this ball game. That means he's carried the football for 85 yards in the third period, and that's quite a bit. That's almost too much to be able to handle at this point. But this game is far from being over. The beauty about Brebeuf football is they can throw the football and they can score quickly. This is one thing Roncalli, I think, regardless of whether they win or lose, Coach Quintana's going to have to work on as they get towards sectional play. These two teams could play again, but also you've got Mooresville, an outstanding team, and whoever's going to play in the regional, potentially they could play New Pal. New Pal is also a very fast, high-powered football team, and Kyle Ralph does a tremendous job with the Dragons. I don't know if there's a better coach in terms of win-or-loss record in the state of Indiana. His winning percentage is absolutely phenomenal. Here's Whistler, Levi Whistler, in for the extra point for Roncalli.
And it looks like it just was a cramp, Mike. All good.
And this one is good. No, it's wide right. It's wide right. I thought it was good for a minute.
Yep, wide right. Kind of hit his the kick was just awkwardly off his foot a little bit. I don't think it was just much of an error of anything.
This is a 9-point lead now, and that's still 2 possessions. But this is from a mentality standpoint, it's a huge win for Brebeuf.
Absolutely, yeah. Brebeuf really is going to have to get into this and really dig deep down into their playbook. Roncalli now ready for those deep throws we see with the double coverage out on these deep throws. So we'll see what Brebeuf has in their playbook, but they still have plenty of time to do their short throws and what they're comfortable with.
Roncalli Royals coming to tonight's game 5-0. Brebeuf 3-1. Eric Quintana in his first year at the helm of Roncalli has done a great job, and he inherited not only great athletes, but he's assembled a lot of outstanding coaches. Coaches are already there with Coach Rodenborough, but also coaches that he brought with him. Much like Brebeuf, these are really solid coaching staffs with excellent players.
Yes. Couldn't agree more, Mike.
Levi Whistler will kick off from his own 40, and it appears the rain has subsided for the most part because the fans in the stands have put away their umbrellas.
Yeah, we don't see any more umbrellas, but we do see a few fan and ponchos in case they get any more rain.
Whistler will kick off. Jack Myers and Devin McElwain are deep. This is McElwain from about the 8. He's going to fake handoff to Myers, cuts left side, gets some room. He's still going, and he's going to be hauled down by a host of Roncalli tacklers near the 30.
And a nice little fake there as he's running. Almost looked like he was going to hand it off to his teammate and make his way down the field there. But good run out from the 5-yard line to get themselves this good field position at the 30.
First down and 10 for Brebeuf at the 29-yard line. Maverick Geske leads his team back on the field in the fourth period. 10-12 to go. He's down now by a score of 23-14. Myers, he's going nowhere. He's being hit behind the line of scrimmage. I think that was Luke Swartz, one of the tacklers. And also, one of those backup defensive tackles comes in, number 95, Broso came up and made the tackle after a gain of just one.
Yeah, some good power there. Kind of bounced off 2 tackles and wanted to keep that forward momentum going, but Roncalli was there to make the stop.
2nd down and 9 for the Braves. Geske looking left. This one, is it picked? Almost picked. Lowry almost picked off the football. It'll be 3rd down.
I thought he did pick it, but really quick roll. The momentum maybe threw the ball out, but a great stop there by Roncalli in anticipation of that throw.
3rd and long for the Braves. All the receivers to the far right. Don't see that very often. Got one receiver, Lewis, to the left. The pass is Buckman. Buckman is going to be close, but I think it's short of the 1st down.
I think so, too. Short, tried to go off of that screen pass there. Some good blocks by Brebeuf, but they had a long way to go.
Uberta makes the tackle again. He was a great linebacker for this ball club. Number 29 for the Royals. He runs side to side very well. He was one of the first tacklers there. It'll be 4th and short, and Matt Geske is going to gamble here. He's going to try for the 1st down, or at least try to draw Roncalli offside. 4th and 1 from the 38. And I think that's Buckman running the option there. It's going to be close. I don't know if he got it. Boy, is this going to be close.
It's going to be very close. Big
Roncalli is thinking they got it. And we're going to measure it. It's the best thing you can do at this point.
I agree, especially in a game as close as this. Which is what we saw last night, Mike, between the Steelers and the Browns. About 36 seconds left in that game, and it was just about half an inch in favor of the Browns, and they were able to conclude the game.
8 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in this ball game. And speaking of the ball game last night, the pride of New Palestine, Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and certainly he keeps his eyes on Kyle Ralph and the New Pal Dragons. Matt Canada has, let's see, this is close. Up, Roncalli will get the football. Boy, is this close.
Wow. Big stop by Roncalli, and now we'll look to see them run the ball this remainder of 40 yards, try and kill the clock as much as they can and limit any opportunity for Brebeuf. Big stop by Roncalli.
This is a game of inches at this point. Roncalli has the football back and has some momentum, up 23-14 with 8:51 to go.
And I hate to say it, Mike, but we're starting to see some Brebeuf fans leaving the stadium after that big decisive stop.
Now, there's still plenty of time left to go in this ball game.
There sure is.
As Roncalli Royals and Eric Moyers comes out on the field. Logan Petrie, defensive tackle for Brebeuf, trying to fire up his unit. He doesn't want to give up. They're still fighting out there. Moyers with the football. Pass. Coughlin, he skips by one tackler. Look out, he's going down the sideline and finally tackled. That'll be a 1st down. A little bit overly aggressive on the outside.
It ended up being a great play, but Brebeuf was almost ready for that. Had they gotten a little closer, that could have been a pick 6 the way that they were approaching that throw.
Dylan Coughlin with the 1st down.
Run.
1st and 10 of the 27. Moyers again running out of that shotgun all night long. Hanson right off the left side. He's going. There's a flag on the play. Ryan Joyce pulls him down. In the way that flag came down, it probably a holding call on the Royals. They're going to move it back. That is a big call.
Roncalli moving backwards a little bit, but gives them a little extra space to run and kill more of this clock.
Ball's going to come back all the way to the 34-yard line, where it'll be still first down, but this time it'll be long. Make that second down and 17. Second and 17 with 8:06 to play here. Moyers, the quarterback. Hanson left side. He gets by a tackler. Cole Williams had him, slipped right through, got some positive yardage, and pretty close to that original line of scrimmage where they started on first down. So it'll be, I believe it's second down and 10 or second and 11.
Big run there by Hanson. He's just able to get through this defensive line and break 2 or 3 tackles per run. It's just amazing the way he's able to keep his momentum as he's running. There's a reason why he's the best rusher in the state.
Coughlin in motion, the give to Hanson, and he skips through. Has some positive yardage.
And you also got to give credit to that offensive line. Again, just a great job with blocking and creating opportunities for Hanson to get that yardage and really tire out this Brebeuf defense.
Javon Brooks had penetrated in the backfield, nearly had a stop there, but nice job by Hanson turning away and going through that hole. So take a look at the field. Number 59, Lauk, has his hands on his sides. Now, at some point, conditioning can come into play. That's a sign of being tired, and that's also a sign of respect. This Brebeuf defensive line is doing a really nice job. Here's a throw by Moyers. This one is caught by Charlie Elsner, and Charlie's got some positive yardage. He goes out of bounds. It'll be a couple yards. It'll be close to that fourth down marker, and Eric Quintana is going to go for the kill. He's going to go for a first down here. It'll be fourth down upcoming. I don't think they're going to try Levi Whistler to kick the ball here. It's a fourth down and 3 from the 20.
Roncalli's done a great job with getting those extra first downs. I wouldn't be surprised if they still end up going for it, and I think they are.
Still running out of the shotgun, Moyers. Hanson over the top of the pile, first down.
Wow.
Nice Luke Hanson, nice jump.
Great play by Hanson. Found that opening, saw that there was a defender on the ground. Just nice little light jump there and get that extra yardage. Good play by Hanson.
First down for the Roncalli Royals on top of this ball game, 23-14. The clock is winding down, under 5 minutes and 30 seconds to play.
And Roncalli taking their time, letting that play clock draw down to the last 5 seconds before they initiate any plays. With this first down, they can shave off a nice amount of time with a few runs as they inch their way towards this goal line.
9-yard gain by Luke Hanson. Hanson again off the left side. He's got some positive yardage down the middle. I think he may have dropped the football. Brebeuf is thinking he dropped the football. I think there was a fumble. Hold on, everybody. They're trying to uncover the pile here. It looked to me the ball came out of his hands before his knee touched. Now there's a flag thrown as there's some extracurricular activity here. Brebeuf is signaling that they've recovered the football.
Now let's see who these flags are on, if it's on both and will offset or if it will go one way.
Brebeuf has recovered the fumble. The ball was on the ground. I saw it pop out. I'm not quite sure what Brave was able to get their hand on the ball, but I saw the ball come out.
But wait, there's more. Yep. So personal fouls on both sides there, Mike, so it'll offset, and Brebeuf will take that ball here at the 25-yard line.
Well, the game, again, there's still a balance of time here, 5 minutes and 2 seconds. The Braves have a chance down by 9, 23-14 with 5:02 to play.
Brebeuf's got to make some big throws, some big plays here to get themselves in the end zone to be a part of this conversation.
First down and 10 for Brebeuf late in the fourth quarter, trying to get back in the ball game down by 9. The snap, the give to Myers. He's off the left side. He's getting a couple yards. The only good thing about that is the fact that you've got positive yardage, but the clock is running. It takes a lot longer to run the football than it does passing. We have official time here.
Yeah, it looks like they're not starting the game clock, Mike. The clock's been stuck at 5:02. We're going to have a little adjustment here to the game clock.
Yeah, probably take it down from 5:02 now. It'll be 2nd and 5. That was a 5-yard gain by Myers there. Ball at the 30-yard line.
And the clock's been adjusted to 4:52 here in this ball game.
Here's Maverick Geske getting a rush. Down the field, it's Clark, and it's picked. It's picked by Baugh. Andrew Baugh got the interception there. The ball was slightly underthrown. I think Clark had his man beat down the sideline, but Baugh was a man on the spot for Roncalli. Huge takeaway for the Royals.
And it's been tough for Brebeuf in their long passing game tonight. 2 interceptions with 2 more that could have been interceptions, but just hard throws to make into double coverage. Roncalli anticipating those and has done a great job with understanding how Brebeuf's passing game has worked and adapting and figuring out where they needed to be. Big stops here by Roncalli, and now they're going to take this ball at the 48-yard line, and we're going to see a lot of running, Mike, and a lot of Brebeuf people starting to leave now as the glimpse of hope after that fumble has turned into an interception and it's going the other way.
Andrew Baugh came in the ball game leading the Royals in tackles with 37. That's a huge interception for Eric Quintana's ball club. Roncalli on the doorstep now of an undefeated 6-0 start here. They still got to finish this game with 4:42 to go. Moyers, the give to Hansen. He's got yards. There he goes.
Big run.
There he goes. Brebeuf sold out the run, and he beat the safety into the end zone for the touchdown. Another run. That's a touchdown for Luke Hansen. And Roncalli jumps out to a 29-14 lead with 4:33 to go in the ball game.
Great blocking there by that offensive line for Roncalli, and a big run by Luke Hansen. His longest play of the season, 59 yards, but that run just about 53, so just short of his record there here in the season. But plenty of opportunity for the rest of the season to try and beat that 59-yard mark, but a big run by Luke Hansen for his 3rd touchdown of the night.
The Royals have decided, John, to go for 2 because they're up 29-14. They had missed the last extra point. They're going to try to get 2 points back on the board. Moyers, a give to Hansen, right side. He's over the end zone. Touchdown, 2 points. Roncalli, and Luke Hansen has been the key to the ball game tonight.
Absolutely, and that offensive line just creating a lot of opportunities for Hansen, creating space, really overpowering that defensive line, and creating a lot of opportunity for the running game tonight.
31-14, Roncalli on top of homestanding Brebeuf in this ball game with 4:33 to go. And for Brebeuf to get back in this ball game, they've got to score fast and quick and get lots of turnovers in this short window.
Yeah, and we should see Roncalli really line up for more of that deep coverage. And if Brebeuf has any chance they've got to find some open pockets from short passes because these deep throws are not working. The more that they try these deep throws, the more Roncalli is going to be ready for it. We'll see how Brebeuf adapts, but this game is starting to slip away from them in this fourth quarter.
What does this game mean? This game means that if Roncalli wins this game, which it looks like they will own a share of the Circle City Conference Championship. And that in itself probably is a goal for this ball club, but I assume with Eric Quintana coming to the helm, as it would be in previous years, their goal, Roncalli's goal, is to win a state championship, nothing else. And if you set the bar down lower, you're going to have a lower bar.
Absolutely.
Roncalli is a program that's absolutely stooped in heritage, and tonight they're having a tremendous ball game here on top 31-14. Whistler's kick to McElwain from about the 7. Devin, and he's being swarmed under. Brandenburg was one of the first tacklers there. And this one will go to maybe about the 24-yard line. And Roncalli's special teams has really improved in the second half.
Absolutely. And, yeah, going back to Roncalli, we had talked with Eric Quintana in our pregame show, and in his first year looking at what are his goals moving into this year. And, of course, one is establishing a new culture, taking what he had learned over at Chittard and bringing it over to Roncalli, but also winning a championship in his first year. And they're poised at 6-0, looking at 6-0. Here on the season and doing a great job. But like we talked about earlier, Mooresville's going to be a big test for him.
Geske, swing pass on the near side, and this one is incomplete. Looked like Coughlin was defending the play. Buckman was the intended receiver. Speaking of Coach Q, he's had assistant jobs at some pretty good football programs over the years. Carmel, Noblesville, Lawrence North, Lawrence Central. And, of course, being at Bishop Chittard the last 5 years, this is a huge plus. And he's coached some really good football players with the Trojans. One of them is with us today, Mark Webster. Mark's our producer and big fan of Coach Q's. Here's a snap to Maverick Geske, and we've got a whistle blows. I believe that's an offside on the Royals. Someone on the front line jumped for the Royals.
And we'll talk about scores more after this game, but I do want to give an update that Franklin Community is leading Mooresville 28-21 in the fourth quarter. Mooresville on the verge of their first loss of the season, and Roncalli looking at a 6-0 here in this season.
Coach Cole's done a fantastic job at Franklin. He's talked about having a really good football team. There's Maverick Geske. He's getting pressure, and he's getting a sack. Luke Swartz was in on the tackle there, 99. Great job of rushing the passer all night long, and he had some help there by Luke Hansen also in the ball game.
Brebeuf over with a quick start here, trying to throw off that Roncalli defense, but Roncalli not giving up, even with this big lead, putting a lot of energy into these final plays.
Jay Nomer with a nice run there on the right side after a gain of about 7. It'll be fourth down and short upcoming for the Brebeuf Braves at their own 32. 4th and 2 for Maverick Geske. 4-man rush for the Royals here. Looking back, looking deep. Throw it to the tight end, Bowler, and this one is caught, I believe.
Yep, good catch there by Brebeuf. Been very few catches for
Bowling
that tonight. We did see that in the first half, but a great job by Brebeuf to bring some liveliness to this offense.
Jaron Bowling with a catch to the first down for Maverick Geske. Geske to Buckman. Oh, he was blown up there. Andrew Baugh came right in on Buckman and dropped him at the 49. He read that play all along, and that'll be second down. The good news is for Brebeuf, that stops the clock with 3:21 to go in the ball game. 31-14, Roncalli.
Brebeuf should take this as a learning opportunity, as a practice opportunity against this tough defense. Their passing game, anything over 10 yards tonight has been very tough. Probably 3 completions out of all of the late passes that they've thrown. But taking the time here to try and figure out what they need to do.
Myers, left side. He gets hammered by Baugh after about a 5 or 6 yard gain. But That's positive yardage. Clock's going to run. We're almost at 3 minutes to play in the ball game as Jaden Omer checks in the backfield along with Maverick Geske on a third down for the Braves. Geske looking left. Downfield, the throw. It is Clark. Had it and dropped it out of bounds.
Good catch, but also great defense there to knock that ball out of his hands.
Lowry was the guy that was defending the play. Again, good close, John.
Man. Just when Brebeuf starts to get some momentum there with their offense, Roncalli makes a great defensive play to prevent that.
4th down and 3 yards to go for the Braves. Leroy Lewis back in the ball game, number 5. Nolan Buckman in the slot. Clark wide left on the far side of the field for Maverick Geske. Pitch back. Myers going to throw the ball downfield. It's intercepted. It's picked off by Charlie Elsner, and Finn Walters downfield makes the tackle at about the 31. Charlie Elsner playing both ways for Coach Q tonight. Comes up with a big pick. First down, Roncalli. 2:42 to go, and that's pretty much the ball game there. Roncalli's defense coming up with big plays when they needed to.
Yeah, tough play there by Jaden Omar to kind of throw that ball as he's stepping back, falling back. Definitely a rush throw. I don't even know if he knew who he was throwing it to, but Roncalli was ready for it, and now we should see them run out the clock here.
My bad. I mentioned Jack Myers. You're right. It was Jaden Omer, number 2. It's hard to tell from up here, 2 and 22. Sometimes it's very difficult. As Moyers, the quarterback now, back to pass, looking down to the left side, long one, and to the hands, incomplete. Hey, that pass was right on the money. It was there. Blame it on the receiver. He dropped the football.
Great throw. Christian Sweezy hits him right in the hands. Just wasn't able to bring it down, but a great throw and a great play there by Roncalli. And we haven't seen too many passing plays tonight because their rushing game has been so great. But it's good to see that in those moments where they need to make throws, down the stretch this season, they have that ability to.
Got to throw the football. You have to have balance here. As Moyers still at the helm. Hansen breaks the tackle, and then he is wrapped up by Merrick Macaluso. He carried Merrick Macaluso on his back for about a yard or two.
He did. He had 3 guys on him. It was not going down. That's some great strength and some great grit there to be able to have that type of power, sort of like beast mode a little bit.
3rd down and 12. Clock runs as Roncalli was running the football, so that enables the clock to wind down, the play clock down to about 10. Eric Moyers taking his time. Handoff, Hansen again. He breaks the tackle. Look out. And finally gets a couple yards, and is finally brought down. He's done a really good job of breaking tackles back there. Ryan Joyce was one of the tacklers, along with Cole Williams.
Hansen knows that he just needs to run the ball a little bit to kill the clock, but he is also trying to score more touchdowns and get some extra yardage to fill up that stat sheet for this season.
Well, Brebeuf calls timeout here. These two teams could potentially meet again in sectional play. And one thing's for certain in any sport, what happens today is not what happens in a couple weeks. You got different personnel, different field, different weather conditions, all sorts of things. Plus, both teams have tape on each other.
Yep.
So you just never know. The hope is that the losing team, which is going to be Brebeuf tonight, has it in their head that they're still capable of winning a game.
Absolutely.
You don't want to go into sectional play thinking, particularly if you have to face Roncalli, that you're going to lose. This football team is an outstanding football team.
Yep.
That is Brebeuf, as is Roncalli has proven it tonight, as the Royals will go to 6-0, looking to punt the ball here on 4th down with 1:46 to go in the ball game, up 31-14. They really have dominated the second half. That's been
they
the
really
difference.
have. And Brebeuf should be happy with their play overall. They kept this game close up until that 4th quarter, but losing against two really good ball clubs, in Bishop Chatard and Roncalli, they need to take this opportunity to learn and apply this to the rest of the season against these two tough teams. that they had close games with. But again, in this fourth quarter, Roncalli just ran away with it.
Flag on the play. There may have been movement on Roncalli's offensive line before the ball was snapped. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. Number 10, Nolan Tunney, was moving forward before the ball was snapped. And one of the things you can do in the Canadian Football League, you can do that. You can move towards the line of scrimmage, it's not a problem. But here in American football, whether it's high school or college, NFL, you can't do that. All right, now they're set. Whistler back for the punt. Snaps haven't been sharp here. There's one a little bit high, nearly blocked. Whistler got it away. Nice roll. Very nice roll. Not only got the roll, but also seconds off the clock. 1 minute and 31 seconds to go in the ball game, and the Roncalli Royals and Coach Q are close to their 6th straight victory of the season.
And Judson Laurie there, downfield, ready for that punt, and was dancing around it, not sure when it was going to finally stop, but let that roll an extra 15 yards and picked it up.
Tonight's game's built by Universal Roofing Exteriors. Visit them at universalrfg.com or call 317-257-0779. And by Genesis Sports Performance, training Indianapolis area grade high school athletes and adult strength training. Visit genesissportsperformance.com. First down and 10, Brebeuf. Just a minute 31 to go. The Braves down 31-14. Maverick Geske still in the ball game, the quarterback. Looks to the right, throws downfield to Buckman. Some positive yardage, gets by one tackler, goes out of bounds. Should stop the clock here. Close to the first down marker.
Nice little truck move there at the end and knock over that Roncalli defender. A lot of power in that run after the catch. Good play by Brebeuf. Looks like the clock's going to continue here. I thought he was out as well, Mike.
Second down and 1. Geske fires over to Buckman. He looks like he's short of the first down.
Just short, but good awareness there to stick that ball out and get that extra yardage.
Roncalli is bringing in some guys off the bench now. That tackler was Jaden Buchanan, number 23. Make that Ian Pesta.
I was a little surprised by that run there, but a good job there by Jaden Omar to break through 2 tackles, find that opening, and get himself some extra yardage, and just short of this first down. But Brebeuf with 35 seconds left in this game.
Second and short now for the Braves. Geske throws downfield looking for Lewis and nearly picked off.
Picked off there by Braden Lauk. Good job there, good awareness. High speed, just a little second too late, and even dove for it. Good effort there.
Brian Lauk is the defensive coordinator for Roncalli. His defense has played outstanding football. Yes, they've had a few breakdowns in the first half, but for the most part, they've dominated the second half of this football game, which is 30 seconds to go in the contest, up 31-14. Omer with the run, ran hard, up near the 40. Jaden Omer out of Mooresville gets the first down.
And this is the best running I've seen Brebeuf do tonight, is these last 2 plays here. A lot of grit there by Omar.
Geske to Bowling. Missed him. Turned a little bit too late. Good defense again by Roncalli covering the pass.
Right to him and goes right through him. Just wasn't ready for that pass yet.
15 seconds remain in the ball game.
Let's see if this is the last game of the play here, Mike.
Geske getting a rush. Sack. That'll be it. I think that'll be it. Big sack for the Roncalli Royals. And that means that the Royals have a share of the Circle City Conference Championship and a victory tonight. This ball game powered tonight by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit them at